So we're gonna see who else joined us in this chat right now. Ba-da-da-da. Hey, there we go. Look at that. So I got to turn all this stuff off. Yeah, look at that. We are live. What's up, everybody? Sitting on some cruise ship DJs out there. We're still waiting on a few other people to join into this conversation tonight, as we're going to, just chat about working on a cruise ship. Everybody always say, hey, how's the work on a cruise ship? And usually the question comes when we're doing what, everybody? When we're DJing. So this is an opportunity for us for some Q&A about working on board the cruise ship. So we're still waiting on a few more people to jump on the Zoom right now, but I'm Aaron Thomas, DJ A-roc, currently living in Ohio, been working out on the ships for approximately 5 years. So we're gonna just go around the room and introduce yourself, where you at, where you broadcasting from, because we're from all over the world right now. So hey, Flip.
What up?
Flip?
I can hear you live and direct, man. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, perfect. It's your boy DJ Flip right here. I've been working on cruises for like 3 years and 2 months. All right. I'm currently living where I'm from, which is St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's in the southeastern Caribbean. So you know that island boy, that island flavor. That's me right here, man.
The island boy. What's up, Saxy? Where you at?
Hey, what's up? It's DJ Saxy. I'm from Mississippi. I'm a Southern girl, but now I'm in Atlanta. I'm in the big A now, from Mississippi to the A. I've been working on the cruise ships about 5 years.
We're on the same years. There we go. All right, and we got DJ Billy Q.
What's up, DJ Billy Q, Billy Quintana, all the way down from Mexico. I'm right now in Quintana Roo, Chetumal, with my family. I've been working on cruise ships for 14 years.
14 years?
Yes, I'm the grandpa. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, good time. I enjoyed the ship a long time ago. I didn't apply for the job. I got offered the job, but I still enjoyed it really nicely over there. It's having a good time. Good moments, bad moments. You miss, when you're living on ships, you're missing a lot of stuff, but good to be here.
Right, all right. Absolutely. And the newbie to the group, DJ Mos Precious.
Well, I guess I'm new, but I marked 2 years. So from St. Louis, Missouri, originally by way of Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth. And like I said, I've been with the company, been a cruise ship DJ for 2 years, last month.
All right, there we go. So we got from 2 to 14 years in the group right now. So the purpose of this is that, we're going to do some Q&A, but we're also going to talk about just life as a cruise ship DJ. A lot of folks just think we're on board playing line dances, 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days. But, you only got 15 minutes of line dances and 9.5 hours of entertainment that you got to take care of. So, talk about what you was doing before you hopped on board that kind of prepared you to be a cruise ship DJ.
Who you want to start?
Who want to start? Well, I mean, Billy is the OG, so you said it kind of fell in your lap. So talk about it. How did the cruise ship DJ?
All right. Well, I've been DJ for 30 years, 30. We've been working all around everywhere. When the manager in that time, Mario Otero, found me, I was working on Fat Tuesday right there next to the pier. And she passed by and says, hey, you should come and work with us. And my first time I says, thank you, thank you. But to be honest, the truth, after the second, 3 times, I still say no. But when I really asked her to bring me in, it was right after the Hurricane Wilma. Hurricane Wilma was at the end of 2005, destroyed everything in Cozumel, everywhere. So I called her back, hey, the offer is still there? Yes, when are you free? Right now. So I joined the ship right away. Since then, I've been on the ship. the original plan was just to cover for maybe a year, 2 years to, I don't know, to establish and come back. But, and then things coming back and coming up, daughters growing up, and money, and party, and good life. Definitely good life. Good experience. Yes. Good experience. Yes.
That's always the joke for all the DJs. It's like, oh, this is going to be my last contract. And this is going to be my last. Man, I'm only doing one more contract, man. One more contract. That's why Saxy's laughing. One more contract, then.
You're so right. I got like 4 last contracts already. I got 4 last contracts.
Yeah. So it's funny because look, Saxy, why are you laughing? So what was you doing? 5 years ago? You laughing so much.
It's just funny.
Saxy,
it's just funny that you say that. It's one more. But before working on the cruise ships as a DJ, I was actually an instructor. So I was actually teaching music and I was coordinating different music programs at the university I went to. So I was doing DJing mostly on the side at the time. I was just doing college parties, hanging out with the frat parties and doing, little local parties and events. And then I had my random opportunity to audition for a DJ position, which for me, my audition was completely random. I ended up somehow going to DJ Expo on my own, all the way from Mississippi, dead broke college kid, had probably 20, 30 bucks in my pocket, hopped on a Greyhound, went to the DJ Expo, looking around at stuff, checking out stuff. And then I meet this guy and he's like, hey, we're doing auditions for a cruise ship for DJs. And the guy was Alex Dina.
Alex Dina.
He's like, check it out. I had nothing. I had none of my stuff. He was like, no, I'll give you a computer. You can use this. So I did my audition. And right when I started my audition, actually, DJ Irie walked in. So I had to do my audition in front of DJ Irie, which at the time was just kind of like, oh, this is happening. Just went in, did my thing, DJ'd away. And then 2 days later, I got an email with a job offer. And I'm back on the bus going back to Mississippi, like, doop. Oh, email. I graduate first, though.
Yeah.
It
Took me a few more months before I started actually my first contract on a cruise ship.
we was at the same expo because we both got hired around the same time.
I think it was.
So that's 5 years. Yeah, 5 years ago, exactly 5 years. So yeah, it's amazing how time has flown by. 5 years. So Flip, tell us your experience. I mean, being from the islands, you see these ships all the time. And, for me, I didn't really see the ships because I have no water near me but the river. So, you see them more than anybody besides Billy living in Cozumel. I mean, that's the party central,
I want to say something about Fleet. I had I never met Fleet in person. The first time I saw Fleet, it was in a video on the TVs. And actually, I sent a text to him. I tell him, man, I love your background, man. It's like a bro. I love it. It's
Thank you,
amazing.
man.
It's really good background. Yeah, oh my God. It's the people I want to follow. Sorry, you can talk now.
Thank you, Brett. I really appreciate it, man. Man, it has always been like a dream to travel the world and all that. But where I'm from, I never wanted to just get out and say, okay, let me move around like Saxy, So, but after fresh out of college, I applied for the army, the UK in London. I applied for the army. I went and I had an issue with my passport, which it was close to the expiration date, so I didn't get in the army. And I was like, wow, I got to go back home and renew my passport and all that. That when I came back home, that was in 2009. And then right after that, I met one of my past teachers, and he was like, dude, you just finished college and all that, man. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not doing anything at the moment. He's like, you should apply for teaching. Come and see me tomorrow. I saw him and gave him all my documents. And then right away, about 2 days after, I got called from the Ministry of Education that they offered me a job as a teacher. And I'm like, wow, right away. But all along, I used to be a DJ on the weekends as well, DJing at the bars and nothing major, just following. I just had the passion for DJing, so I used to go around with my USB drive, asking my friends like, "Oh, can you please give me 10 minutes?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, come on, man, come." And he was like, "Man, I just love the way you showed, the way you're interested in what we're doing. So I'm gonna invite you to come on over, come see my laptop. You can put together some crates, and every Friday night you can come and jam with me." So right there and then, I used to be a teacher from 2010 and also a DJ on the weekend. So it was like no days off. Teacher from Monday to Friday, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. I'm in the club with my friends, trying to DJ, and then back in the classroom on Monday. But it wasn't so much of a hard transition because I had that passion for me as a DJ, and then I was a professional when it comes to Monday morning. So my students used to be like, Mr. Simmons, I heard you on the radio station over the weekend. And I was like, nope, that's not me. And they were like,
Coolest
yes,
teacher.
that's you. Yeah.
The coolest teacher in school, man.
Yeah, the coolest
that's,
teacher.
Everybody loved him.
Yeah. And so we about to hit up Mos Precious, but the Island Boys are joining in right now. JD
Don't
is
check
joining
1,
in.
2. Atomic in the house. What's up, man?
DJ Atomic. Atomic. Look, man. Look, where you at right now? All
No,
right.
bro. I'm en route to my laptop, so I just log in mobile first to just do the test to make sure we're good.
Where you at right now? Are you at home?
St. Lucia. Nah, St. Lucia for now. I'll be in Tampa in a couple days.
Go. So we got Mos Precious in the house. All right. So how'd you wind up on the ships, Mos Precious? Because you got more jobs than probably everybody combined in this group.
Who that, me?
Including you, Flip.
Well, basically, I've been knowing a lot of DJs who've been on cruise through my other network I'm a part of called Fleet DJs, and it's a DJ by the name of Crusie, who I've been knowing for years. I always hear about her being on cruise, seeing how her experience is, and I was like, oh, I want to try it. So I joined the group called Travel about 3 years ago. Studied the group, found out what cruise ship DJing was like. And to be honest with you, I never even wanted to be a cruise ship DJ. I never even knew, I never cruised. So cruising for me, being in St. Louis, is not a common thing because we don't have water and we're in the middle of all these highways and the big arch. So when I got the traveling DJs, I started talking to Rob and learning more about what cruise ship life like and what I need to do. And then I started building that mode a year before I even applied. And on top of that, like before I even applied on that, I was an artist, own a promotional company for 10 years. I throw fundraisers, I manage artists, I blog, I write. That's why he said I have probably one of the most jobs of everybody on this phone call because I do a lot, but that comes with over 10 years of doing it. I've always DJed. I started DJing on radio in 2009 at UMSL University. I was a radio DJ first, and then it escalated, it expanded, and now I'm where I am now on cruise ships. I just summed up 10 years in like 2 seconds. I could probably take a whole 2 hours to talk about every little thing I've done, but from where I am now to where I came from radio to doing events to touring, being an artist DJ on the road to now where I am on cruise ships.
Most there we go. So we see JD in the house. If you have not followed JD on Instagram, you got to check this guy Instagram out. It is hilarious all day long. JD, are you in there? Can I hear you?
Hey,
JD.
Hey, what's
There
up?
we go.
I'm doing it. All good?
JD,
You hear me?
yeah, there you go. There we go. Where you at, JD? Where you from?
The cruise ship.
I'm from
Still.
Jamaica. I'm actually in Jamaica right now on the Carnival Glory.
Oh, you're on
there,
the cruise ship. You're on the cruise ship still. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Look at the background. Yeah.
Yeah, look at the background. All right, we're gonna pause for 2 seconds and send our prayers and condolences and everybody out there to all our family out there still at sea right now, trying to get home. We know a lot of people are still on the ships, and a lot of folks probably tuning in don't realize, each ship has over 1,300 crew members on board, and you think it's almost 80 ships out to sea every day. So that's about 80,000 people out to sea every day working. So big shout. And I can't believe this man got Wi-Fi on the ship right now. JD, how's that ship Wi-Fi? You there? You there? Can you hear me now? Look, yeah, we all know about the ship Wi-Fi. It comes and it goes. That free social media plan kicking in. All right, we're gonna see if JD can get back on the Wi-Fi. But Atomic, what's up? And we got DJ Vinny P joining us. Atomic, you there?
Yep. Live and direct. I'm still grooving for St. Jude. That was my t-shirt for today.
For always. So where you at, Atomic? You at home right now?
Yeah, I'm in St. Lucia right now. I pretty much got in about 2 weeks ago. I did my 14-day quarantine hotel facility, and then just got out on Saturday. So I've just been getting documents and everything sorted out, But it's been cool, man. Being back home is very relaxing. So for all those who haven't made it home as yet, obviously prayers and shout outs to everybody. For those who are at home, then you know how it is. Things are just way different. Coming to an island that's completely shut down, like everything goes dark at like 7 p.m.
Right. So tell us, how long you been with the company and how did you get involved? I remember working with you when you first started. That was a good time. I think me and you was on the Glory together. The ship that JD is on right now.
I did Splendor with you. I started with Carnival back in 2015. I came in as a bar waiter. All right. So that's when I met, like Mr. G, DJ Spike, and Jblendz, and so on, a couple of the other guys. But I did one contract as a bar waiter, but my bar was nightclub. So watching these guys play, serving up drinks every night, I was like, all right, these guys are having way more fun and making way more money. So let me see what they're up to, and that's pretty much how I started. I pretty much learned to play via watching these other guys play, and they pretty much, were very liberal with the music sharing. Like, hey, if you wanna start spinning, buy yourself a mixer and hop on it. My first mixer was a Mix Track 3 as a bar waiter. I also met a DJ Rain at that time. He had turntables on board the ship.
One of the only guys on the ships with turntables.
Yeah. Only guy on the ship with turntables. Yeah, so we did a crew party together, and it pretty much took off from there because I think that's when the Pioneer S9 was just released. He had the S9 and the PLX 1000, and we tore that crew party up. And he's like, "Yo, bro, like you good with the music selection, but mixing, tighten it up, just practice, And it pretty much skyrocketed from there. I did a couple more crew parties, and when I moved to the Fascination, there was a crew party, and the captain was invited. And just being current with the songs and music downloads, he asked me for a particular song. It was by Dua Lipa. And I had it, and he just wanted to hear that song all night. And it's like, our DJs on Leader don't even have this one, and you got it already. Like, have you thought about playing for our guests? I was like, well, maybe. I'm still a bar waiter because every night after work, I would end up in the crew bar or between shifts. So before I would hit the club at 12:30, between 10 and 12, I was in the crew bar, plug in the auxiliary cord, and I was playing for crew. I would run up do my shift, and whoever's in the crew bar after that would just pretty much keep an eye on stuff until I got back. So that's where that kicked off. But the captain was pretty cool. Felipe was the cruise director at the time, and he pretty much recommended that I join entertainment, and that's when he spoke with Alex and so on, and they were like, well, check it out, do the interview. I remember doing my interview on a Galaxy S5, just recording me with a mix track crew. That was in a crew conference room all the way to the back of the ship. And I just had someone to record, and I'm like, make sure you catch my hands, make sure you get the speaker, the Bluetooth speaker. And did the interview then. I probably had 2 months left on that bar waiter contract. And when I signed off, I had maybe a 3-month vacation. About 3.5 months in, I got a call from Alex saying, hey, well, we reviewed everything. Your department change was approved, so you have an option. Do you want to come back as a bar waiter, or you want to come back as a host DJ? And I was like, well, give me the numbers, give me the salary, because money talks, So it's like, all right, it's a fixed salary, so no need to hustle in the bar,
Show me the money.
Entertainment, so probably get some better flights, nicer hotel, and obviously you can grow from there. And he gave me his backstory from starting from housekeeping and so on. So I'm like, all right, similar type of vibe, department change, there's opportunity for growth. And I said, all right, the host DJ it is. And I went, my first ship as host DJ was the Splendor with a Mark Q, and that's why I met you. I remember us going through that whole thing with, get your GoPro, start recording your sets, like start putting things out there. I think through that contract, I went through 3 pro DJs. I had Spike, I had you, and then I had Renzo. All right. In fact, it was 4. T Willie as well. So that was all in one contract. 6-month contract, was amazing. It was just a lot of information, Coming from being a bar waiter, I kind of had like a different perspective, because before, we'd look at entertainment and be like, what? These guys just make mad bread and don't do nothing. They work hard.
Just pressing buttons, as they
do.
just
smile, and then actually doing the role of a host DJ, doing the bingo sales, opening the club, I realized, okay, there's a bit more to it than just spinning in the club and hyping up the crowd. And I did my full contract as host DJ on the Splendor. My next ship was a Fascination, and I did half a contract on the Fascination. And that's when there was a FEMA charter. So Hurricane Maria hit the Virgin Islands, FEMA charter, and they were like, well, who wants to stay, who wants to go? I'm like, well, I'll stay. DJ on that ship at the time, that was JD, yeah. Jose Aponte. JD was the DJ, and it was like, all right, well, he's getting transferred, so you're gonna stay. And we had the military coming in, and all of these guys, Air Force, Navy, reserves, and they're like, all right, well, we like country music. And I'm like, I've never played that before. So that's pretty much, I was the only DJ on the ship, and we had the club open for 3 hours a night. Running through that, we would get up in St. Croix, get some of the local rum, come back in, and they want to do line dances. Copperhead Road, that's where I learned Copperhead Road. But I learned that as well. But that was also the contract that gave me a lot of experience to play consecutive moments for crew and guests as well. So it was a pretty much, very streamlined. So it wasn't just the regular cruise where we do sail away party, and it just continues from there. We had people coming from all over the world who wanted to hear their stuff, like a regular cruise, but it was just more centralized. It wasn't a week. It was literally like 4 months of people just coming in and out. Then the linesmen came in, Texas boys, Wisconsin, you get West Coast, East Coast, and everyone is in there after hard days of work, and they just want to chill, And
was this during the hurricane? This one they docked the ship for the hurricane, right? All right.
Yeah. So we're
gonna roll back to that, because a lot of people don't realize how much the company we work for does when they're not selling. So we're gonna definitely touch base on that, because people don't see some of the positive stuff that come up. Like you saying, the ship was basically a floating hotel for 4 months during hurricane season. But I want to get to Benny P. He joined us. JD, I think JD is trying to get back in the room. He might have some of that ship Wi-Fi. What's up, Benny P? I met Benny P in person when I was cruising.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What's going on, brothers and sisters? What's going on?
I cruise before I work. I cruise before I start working for Carnival. So it's one of those things. So but we met in person a long time ago. So what's up,
Long
Benny?
time ago. What's going on,
give
guys?
us your backstory, man. Give us how you went from working to the cruise ship before, after, but just give us a brief backstory of you,
Oh
you
my
know, and how you wound up on the ships.
First of all, I started around pretty much the same time the Billy started, 2005.
Wow.
Yeah, I did 14 years cruise ships life, and then everything starts in college. I was doing little gigs here and there in college. I went to college in Peru. I'm originally from Peru. I live in San Antonio, Texas now. So and then I got a job on the food operations manager also, my first contract on Carnival, because I went to school for hotel management and tourism. That's how I get my first job on Carnival. That's right after college. And I think it was a little bit more to be in the right place at the right time. It was a little bit of luck, a little bit of everything. I was doing gigs on school, not professionally at that time, but I was really familiar with the music and a lot of stuff going on. And then coming to the cruise ships, same way, you know, you like Atomic say, you start seeing the DJs and you start seeing the parties, working here and there, and to say, oh my God, that's something that you want to do. And at that time on the Carnival Fantasy, there was a DJ mixer on the crew bar. So anybody who feels to play music used to go there and start practicing and start playing music for the crew in the crew bar. And that was kind of like something they started doing. Then from there, start doing crew parties. And actually the DJs at that time on board, DJ Basics, I don't know if you guys know Basics, one of the legends from Carnival, and DJ Rao were the people who started training me first in the beginning. And then actually DJ Rao signed off in the middle of the contract. Obviously the DJ position was different at the time. The DJ position was available. And obviously the amount of entertainment was not enough. So the two DJs position were really needed. And the cruise director at that time asked me if I was interested. He saw me that I was like doing a good job in the crew parties. Obviously it's a big difference to work for the guests, music styles, and many different situations. I went for a training with DJ Basics for a month and then changed my position, my first contract and my third month on board.
Wow.
And since then, I never stopped.
Fast.
That was actually, like I say, that was being in the right place at the right time. And it was a different situation, it was a different time. It was not, that DJ position wasn't that strong, or the music program from Carnival at that time was not that strong. Also, the cruise industry was not demanding the way it is right now. So it was a different situation. Obviously, it took more for what I was doing at that time, for what I learned with the years, with different DJs. But again, I think it was meant to be for me to be there at that time. And obviously, a lot of things changed from that point of time, right? And obviously, coming from that kind of background helped me also to help the people who come from the same path, right?
That's good.
Yeah, I got Alex trying to get on the meeting right now. So we're gonna see if Alex, because his name keep popping up, but Alex is not on the meeting right now. So we're gonna see if he pop up. Still waiting on Hayes to join in. So I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing. People always say, how would you wind up getting on the ship? And we all got a different story how we wound up there. And what I love about this, the fact that we're all somewhere different in the world, including JD, who's back.
Yeah.
Live from the Carnival Glory. He's actually on the ship right now. So we're gonna see how good this Wi-Fi, the ship Wi-Fi holds up. So what's up, JD? Tell us your background, man. Where you from? We know you're sitting on the ship in Jamaica. So tell us where you're from, where you're trying to get to, how you got to where you at right now.
Well, I'm from Jamaica, as y'all know, and what I actually do, I was to buy a plan just now, because I say I can't make this this link up miss me, because the ship's Wi-Fi is acting up, you know.
we all know the ship Wi-Fi.
The thing is, my journey began at when I was at the hotel industry here in Jamaica. I started out in the hotel industry 9 years ago, and then in 2017 I got a link up with traveling DJs. What's his name again?
Rob Nigel.
Rob Nigel, yeah. So it was actually from 2017. I should have been on the ship. I should have started out on the fantasy. However, I was making a nice sum of a nice cash at the time, you know. So I say, you know what, I'm not really ready for the cruise ship as yet. So I continue doing my work in the hotel industry as a supervisor slash DJ for 6 DJs, you know. And then in the last part of 2017, I say, you know what, I'm going to resign from this job. So I went to Sandals because I was at Grand Palladium, then I resigned and I got to Sandals. So I say, if I can resign from Grand Palladium that I've been at for 8 years and then went to Sandals, I can make another transition. So that's when I said, you know what, it's time for me to do the ship, you know. And then in April 2019, my bad. That's when everything started out. I started out as the, you know, a host DJ for 6 months. At first, it was like a bit challenging for me because being that I was on land doing it, it's way different when you're on the ship. Because as a host DJ, you know, you have to do a lot more than being just a DJ. Because at the time I was doing Gender Showdown, Hairy Chest, Red versus Blue, you know. So the transition was really good, and I give kudos to DJ Renzo, Chef Sher, and my bro Atomic.
Yo.
Yeah, man. Because those 3 guys, you know, they really help. It's not like I wasn't confident, you know, but those 3 guys, they help boost me and say, you know what, yo, bro, you can do it. And I can't forget the time when me and Atomic was doing that Cardi B.
Yeah, the Cardi B cruise.
Yeah, the charter cruise. The charter
cruise, man, that cruise was off the chain, you know. So it's like I did only one contract as a host DJ, and I'm based on my ability, my mixing ability, and my music knowledge I have in music. I believe that was the thing that catapulted me to be a pro DJ after that first contract as a host DJ, you know. And I really have to give thanks to also Jblendz.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, Jblendz. He also, because I don't know, it's like it was a blessing to know that I started out on Victory and get to meet these wonderful people, you know. I met Alex, I met as I said, Renzo, Chef Sher, Atomic, Jblendz, and all of them, and even the office personalities, the ones that came from the office and always come on board on Victory to have a good weekend cruise. You know, they also went back to the office and, you know, made mention about me based on because at the time I always have to open the club, you know.
So you know, the thing is, people don't realize how much we work and what we got to deal with. And I don't think a lot of people that may be watching don't understand how many people on the ship. This is let me see if I can share this screen. So this right here is basically New Year's. I don't know if y'all can see, but this is New Year's right now on the screen. I don't know if y'all can see it on your screen versus my screen, but the New Year's party this was the Breeze right here this past 2020. And people don't realize how many people are on a cruise ship at a time. You know, what is some of your, like, if somebody wants to be a cruise ship DJ, what would be some good advice as far as, you know, starting off? What is something to look at? Because you see the people we get on board every week, and, you know, as far as, you know, what would be some advice if somebody's watching, somebody's listening, you know, as far as what to be prepared as a cruise ship DJ? What's some good advice from Saxy? What you got? What do you think?
Oh, come out of that box and come out of that shell.
Yeah.
I tell you, because like I said, most of my DJing was in Mississippi. I'm from the land of blues, and people love the hip hop. Now, I knew of other genres, but I never got an opportunity to DJ other genres. Now, fun fact about Vinny P, my very first time getting a cruise ship, because when I got hired in, I came to the cruise ship as pro DJ and I just jumped right into it. No training behind me. The training I got was 1 week on a ship with Vinny P running behind him like, oh, we do this, we do that, what's next? And I kid you not, like, I knew my knowledge of music was very great, but Vinny P got me ready for the Latino crowd in 4 days, like no one ever have done before. Like when I say he got me ready, he got my knowledge up, he got me ready to go. Because for me, the biggest thing was you have people from so many different places. You have to get outside of your box. If in your mind, I'm a hip hop DJ and you come on a cruise ship, it's not gonna work, buddy. You have to dig and reach and research. And that's the biggest point of advice I could give to anybody that wants to do cruise ship DJing.
What's going on, guys? Late to the party.
Look, Alex is showing up late to the party, man. Yeah, look, I'm gonna have to write you up for that.
Yeah, so he's growing a mustache.
Video, right. I got the video playing on the share screen right now of the Lido deck. A lot of people realize of all the people on board. So, Alex, tell us your history joining the OG. He's the OG. Alex is the reason that most of us is even on this call right now, talking about working on a cruise ship as a DJ. So, what's up, Alex? Tell us about you.
What's going on, guys?
Good.
Alex.
Hail up.
All good.
Yeah, he's wearing a mustache. Yay.
Dude, like, yeah. I'm literally remodeling my house right now. So I've been grinding with skill saws and paintbrush.
What are you cooking tonight?
Oh no, yeah. I've been cooking. It's on the side right now. Been straight up remodeling. I'll share some photos later on. But
DJ Alex Dina, where you from and how'd you get to where you at?
Do we have enough time for that?
No, man. All right, 2 minutes. You got
forever.
2 minutes.
Hey. So what's up, guys? My name is Alex. I'm from Belize originally, and now Belize, then South Africa, now Miami. Started the company in 1999. Next month is actually my 21st anniversary with Carnival.
Congratulations.
Damn, you're legal now.
So, yeah, legally I can drink. Finally, 21 years. In short, started up as a pool attendant. From pool attendant, went to pest control VSP. Actually, I posted a photo today with me and Fun Trip Freddy in my overalls. That was a fun moment. And then after that, I went to a pool and deck supervisor, then to an assistant housekeeping manager. No, cabin steward, then pool and deck supervisor, then an assistant housekeeping manager. DJ got sick once, filled in, and that was it. You know, that's like the shortest I can put.
Yeah. Look, what's up with everybody? Look, everybody got this thing. The DJ gets sick, fill in, job yours. What's up?
Yeah, look, Billy. Just rocking out cool parties. You know, like some of us in the group. And I thought, you know, that was like, wow, this is pretty cool. You know, and that was it. You know, from there we just continue to do what we love. You know, so. That's the shortest version I can put up.
So, you know, Billy and Benny, you some of the OGs, you know, tell us about working on the club before Serato, working on a moving ship before Serato, because most people don't realize, you know, it was CDs on the ship. When I got there, I still seen the promo only CDs inside the booth. How was that, working on a moving ship with CDs?
All right, I'm gonna go on one. I know I think Billy has tables at work, but when I started, it was we had the mix track 2 on the pool deck with just, you know, on and CDs, of course. So, and then the nightclub was Tascam 1500s with Allen and Heath 16.
Yeah. Billy, I see Billy laughing up there. Billy, what was your experience on the ship with all the old school gear?
Well, to let you know, I didn't know what to expect, so they didn't tell me nothing. Just come on board, So I bring my turntables, my Technics. I bring it aboard, my first contract. So I carry turntables, Serato, and work it up. So when I get there, I learned that didn't have to bring anything. So we got the Tascam and the big mixer.
Yeah. So going back to the
Big
promo
buster.
only.
Yeah.
I used to take requests, and all the other DJs did this. We used to take requests, and we would highlight the bangers with a highlighter marker.
Yeah,
So
you're
every
right.
single promo, mainstream, rhythm, urban, tropical, Latin, whatever, all the bangers were highlighted. So that's how we know that was kind of our crates back then. And if someone requested something and wasn't highlighted and it was a hit, you know, and then every time another DJ take over, it's like, yo, what's up with that shit? Go to the highlights. All right, boom.
But you know what is the crazy thing about that? That with the time, you memorize the location of every single song. You are around 5 different books, hundreds of CDs.
Yes, you're right.
Somebody come and ask you, can you play Get Low, Lil Jon right now for me? And you know that was in the Urban Book, promo only, 2003, track number 5.
Oh my goodness!
That's how crazy your brain works. You just know that, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Everybody laughing because we all got spoiled with the MacBook Pros, and we get mad because the song ain't on the MacBook. But imagine like, can y'all airdrop a CD to us, please? Can you call Coast Guard to send me a promo only CD? I mean, that's crazy because I think a lot of people still don't understand what we deal with on board and with the genres that we have to deal with, because you don't know what or who is going to show up at the club. Because it's like one of my experiences was I went to a ship and I was following who was I following behind, man? But it was Ness. So he did Latin night on the Fantasy. And it wasn't just like Latin hour. He did a 4-hour Latin night. And it's like, oh yeah, so by the way, you got Latin night. Like, oh yeah, Latin hour? No. You got Latin night and the Cat's Den or whatever. I'm like,
yes.
So you mean like hour? No, 3 hours. 3 hours. I'm like, holy crap. I'm like texting everybody I know, like, can you fill me in on some Latin music? Give me the top bangers, what I'm gonna do, because I know mainstream Latin music. And it was 3 hours of Latin music with DJ A-roc. So tell it. So give me some of your experience as, like Sax was saying, come from Mississippi and learning these genres. You know, we all come from different parts of the world. What are some of the challenges that you face working on the ship, knowing the music? So Mos Precious, you the host DJ, you're opening up, you got the hours, you got the nights. What was some of the challenge coming from the Midwest to a cruise ship that focused on Caribbean music? What was one of your biggest challenges?
Basically, being that I had to open the night, I had to make sure that certain songs wasn't played. So I was kind of limited to what I was allowed to play. But being from Midwest, we don't know a lot of Caribbean music. I'm not gonna stop. We didn't know Caribbean. We have a Latin era here, but it is not big. But when I went to Texas, before I joined Carnival or joined the ship period, I was like, okay, I know a little bit because I'm in Texas, and everything Texas is Latino, Spanish music, everything's Mexican related or Hispanic. So I was a little bit more comfortable when it came to the Latin hour that we had on the ships I was on. But then we get to 70s and 80s. I'm like, okay, that was a little bit more, it was more easier to set it because all my 70s and 80s parties opening up for DJs like Billy Q, DJ Atomic, Stand and Vouch, DJ Trav. I even opened up for DJ Silk, just to name out some people I've opened up for. And all the 80s and 70s and 80s nights were like lit before they came. Like I turned that into a whole new experience, being more comfortable after doing a second contract as it. But it was just a challenge. Like everybody I've worked with has given me a different. I give a commend to Billy for giving me even more of Latin music. It's a word that he taught me. I cannot remember it because he ain't said it to me. Atomic, I want to definitely shout out to Atomic for working with me and giving me one of the most memorable experiences and learning opportunities ever on any ship I've ever worked with any pro. Shout out to Atomic.
You trying to flatter me? What's your cash app?
What's your cash app?
It's more. I get to work with as a host DJ. And I go on as a learner. Like, I don't come and say, oh yeah, because I've been DJing on radio or I do all this that I know everything. I've always come to every pro DJ, like, teach me something new. And even not working with them, like, I would ask any pro DJ some experience. I even got some pointers from Saxy when I went to Freedom. Saxy can vouch for that. She gave me some ideas for some songs. So it doesn't matter if you have to work with them or not. It's more like just being able to reach out to them, being a host DJ, and one day probably work with them anyway. So I just want to thank everybody that's given me even more knowledge about the music that I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know nothing about Spanish music, Texas, but 30 more from Billy Q when I joined on Breeze. I even got more from Trav when he got moved down into the reggae aspect. And then I want to give him another shout out before I get off and stop talking. Shout out to Atomic, because everybody remembers him mixing country music with some 70s and 80s music. People still remember that after he left on Breeze. So shout out to all the different music I had the opportunity of how to blend it, how to make the parties go. So just know, as a DJ, I had the challenge of not playing the popular records where the pros get there. But then, once you found out who you working with, the good thing about having a host DJ and pro DJ relationship is you can still play you and be you, and the pro DJ come and still rock it. So that's one issue, or not even an issue, but one of the challenges I had was being a DJ for many years and coming on there and being kind of unable to really explode, because the explode is more like 12 a.m. and 1 a.m. after I'm already off the set. So
the opener, use the opener.
Well, I have experienced something like that when I opened for a couple main DJs in Cancun. I opened for a Scribble in Cancun one time, and for Capri one time, Capri 2 times. And they give me a full list of the music I cannot play before he joined. Yeah. She said, this you have to play, you cannot play nothing because she's going to come and bring it up. And they give you the music, they give you the vinyl, everything, the records, and this is what you cannot do, you cannot play, because they are the main event. It's hard, but it's good when you got the background.
Yeah. I've done that opening up for artists. You know, they give you a list of the do's and don'ts because they know that artist is going to rap over this song or they DJ is going to spin this. And that's kind of what we get into on the ship, because, you know, we have these hour sets because we have a 70s hour, we have a Latin hour, we have this hour. But my biggest challenge, you know, and I used to call Alex about this, was working on the Texas ship and then going to a Miami ship. Because people think, you know, and Billy definitely could probably vouch for this, not all Latin music is the same. You know, it's like East Coast versus West Coast. You're not throwing no cumbia music down on a Miami ship.
No.
I love that music on the West Coast. West Coast, you can play cumbia on the West Coast.
You want to finish the night alive?
Right. So you know, so all my guys from the island, you know, how did it work for you being from the island, and you got people coming in from New York, from Ohio, from, you know, different parts of the states? Because us US DJs know, like, people on the West Coast is not wanting to hear Meek Mills, you know what I'm saying? And people on the East Coast don't want to hear Mac Dre. You know, then you got your people down south is not wanting to hear, you know, anything from Chicago. You know, so like, you know, my Caribbean guys, JD, you know, what was your biggest challenge being from Jamaica and then getting the all Americans on board, you know, cruising?
Well, it wasn't much of a challenge for me, now, being that I was already exposed to that particular crowd wherein I was working at the hotel. However, when I came on board, I make sure I always do my research. You know, I always do my research. Whichever place I'm going to. I said, for instance, when I went to New Orleans the other day, I make sure I did my research, which top artists from that area every time. And also I have to send another shout out to Jblendz when he sent us that list of the states.
Yeah.
Artists.
Yeah.
You know? So I always do my homework and I always do my research. And also whenever I get on a ship, I make sure I check the history and get an idea and I build around that history. You know,
Yep.
so
Good.
I work smart and I don't work hard, you know.
Yeah.
Now, Flip. What about you? You know, you from the islands, and you got thrown into this. You know, what was one of your biggest challenges coming from the islands, and then the clientele coming on board?
Yeah, one of my biggest, well, there was a few challenges, I must say. Well, I came directly from the radio stations, right? So in the islands, Atomic and JD will tell you that we are pretty much open to a lot of genres. So we play a lot of hip
Yeah.
hop and rap in the islands. We are very much hard on the dance hall, reggae music, and that's another thing. So being out there on the ships is like everyone label any music from the Caribbean as reggae. But no,
Yeah.
there are different genres of music from the Caribbean. So in the islands, we are into the soca, the dance hall, the reggae, and so forth. In the Caribbean, we are also very much into Afro beats, which is the rhythms from Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, and those places. But one of my biggest challenge being on the ship is that I started that job with a lot of confidence, and I was like, I think I'm ready to be a pro DJ, you know. So, right away. My first DJ was DJ Tropic, and that was only for one cruise, and I
Okay.
learned a lot. In that one cruise, he was teaching me as much as he can, and he was like, "Yo, kid, man, I love your attitude. I wish I was here I wish you were here for a bit longer." And then just after, I saw this short dude strolling on the ship. When I look around, I'm like, okay, he's walking like the DJ. It was DJ JD, you know. And then we built an amazing relationship. In fact, we were roommates and all that. And JD made my life very much easy. Like he took the Pro DJ laptop and he was like, okay, whenever you open the club, I need you to use my laptop. So whenever I get to the club, it's a smooth transition for him. And in my spare time, he will sit me down and he will be like, okay, he wants to know what are the genres of music that I'm not so comfortable with. So being on the ship, it's the first time I've been learning about Motown music. I don't know anything about, I knew nothing about Motown before that. Um, and that was out of New Orleans. And then we had a country hour. The only thing I remembered about country music back then is my mom playing Strawberry Wine and about five other songs every evening because that's all she loved. So I thought, okay, is this all the music for country music? And one of my biggest challenges that I being the host DJ, JD always allows me to do private functions and also weddings on board. And there was a function for a Latin group. They wanted 3 hours from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock of Latin music. And I'm like, wow, really? So JD was like, man, kid, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. I'm here, but you gotta do it.
You gotta
And I
do it.
went, I did my research, and I was pretty much just allowing them to make their request, but at the same time, I just put it all in the prepared list and make sure that the transitions are sensible enough to keep them moving and dancing. And at the end of
Hmm.
that private function, they were like, "Man, this was amazing." So that right there just boosted my confidence. Yeah. So I took what we have in the Caribbean, I took it to the ship and I learned all I learned from JD. Major shout outs to Jblendz, of course. Major shout outs to DJ Tropic and Extreme. They are all
Woo,
three
straight.
DJs. Yeah, Extreme. They are four
We're gonna
DJs
get
with
him on here
four different
next time.
styles. Yeah,
I,
for
I,
sure,
I,
man.
I already chatted him up, so he gonna join in next time with this
Yeah,
conversation.
man. I learned from all those four guys, different styles of DJs, and I took something away from each and every one of those guys, man. It was a blessing, and it is still a blessing. So that's me right there.
Right. You know, it's amazing because we're all talking about all the different genres we had to learn. And that's what, you know, a lot of people don't understand that part about the job, you know, that we're in the middle of the ocean. So it ain't like we can go hop on YouTube and
Yeah.
Spotify and stream this song and do this. Oh, can you, and I'll say, people like, can you download this? I say, can you send a text message? Nope. That's always the reply. Hey, can you download this? Hey, can you send a text message? No. All right, then, there you go. Let's see what we got, you know. But you know, that's what people don't realize, you know, like we are, you know, groundbreaking different genres of music. I mean, every 5 minutes, you never know what the club may be, because I've been in that we start from Latin night, then I may throw some country, then you may hear some hip hop, then you may hear some gangster hip hop, you may hear some top 40. You know, people don't get that. You know, Atomic work together. You know, what was one of your biggest challenges coming on board? I mean, you've been on the ship as a bar staff, and you know, everybody jumping over to entertainment always think like, oh man, these guys don't work. You know, they ain't doing nothing. You know, they just playing music. You know, what was your take? You know, what was one of your biggest challenges going from bar to DJing and the music? You know, from even crew parties. You know, I mean, I've been to 2 crew parties in 5 years. The music is different than what we play in the club. So what was your perspective?
Challenge-wise, I will say I feel that playing for guests is way easier than crew, you know, because the guests come with the predetermined mindset. All right, you know, I'm on vacation, really and truly, whatever he plays, I'm probably gonna dance to. Some people have a bit more, you know, of a special request, and you know, they give you the extra props. The mixing is good, and you know, you have variety and diversity. But I'm gonna hit on the crew first. Challenges with crew is that, you know, we all live together, we work together, so you kind of like build those bonds and relationships. So you know, we have the Caribbean people, you know, we have our Asian mafia, you know, crew, not mafia because they don't do anything crazy, but you know, calling them mafia. But
play my music, play my music, play my music.
Spanish link up, you know, everybody's paisanos and whatnot, and you know, you come to a crew party. We've all been here for a couple of months at a time. Some people new, some people in the middle of the contract was the end. So everyone at that point in time is like, all right, we want to hear our stuff from where we're from. Now just multiply the guest experience in a sense where, you know, these are people that you see every day, and you know, you interact with. So you know, all right, this guy's from Jamaica, so you know, you have to drop a reggae set for the Caribbean people, dancehall, soca, and then you know, we have, you know, the Filipinos and Indonesians expecting a little bit of their type of jams, you know. Then you have the European crew with EDM. So playing for the crew, it kind of forced you to not only be current, but also be diverse in your transitions, because you have so many different crew members. It's like, you know, after working for the whole day, and you also working for the whole day to play for a crew party, like that extra dose of energy just to give back to the crew. And I pretty much enjoy doing them as a host DJ. The challenges will just request, you know, as crew, we're like, you know what, we're accustomed to, you know, taking care of others' needs so much that when it comes to our turn, it's like, you know, all right, yeah, I need that song now. I need that song ASAP. I got my whole crew song from, you know, Indonesia, or, you know, the Indian song, you know, Mundi and Kebache. You play Anytime Beware the Boys. That is your banger, that's your hit. You play that. What are they want to know?
The light bulb. That's the light bulb.
And you know, coming from playing from, you know, the guest perspective, where you know, we have, you know, request sheets and they can wait for the request. With crew, it's you know, free for all, open access. So a guy be like, bro, you play my song now, I'm gonna get you 6 bears. I like, all right, you know, we can
talk. Good offer.
That's good business, right? It's a great offer. So whatever's playing now, we're gonna scrap that. So you find, you know, we jump genres so quickly. It's kind of like how we mix in the Caribbean, because like on a radio station or a party, you know, you hardly get a song playing through for more than 45 seconds to a minute and a half. Like that song is cut and scratched into another song, you know.
True.
So we pretty much, you know, juggle like that as well. And that was the challenge for me with crew parties, because you know, you pretty much have to be on the ball. If you're in the mindset of, all right, these are guests, you know, we're gonna take it chill and light, crew party gonna crush you. All right. And it's not only a fact that, you know, it's a crew party. When the party is actually done, you're gonna have everybody in the ship talking about a party. So if you did a great job, you get your rating. The chef give you, you know, some extra food. You can call a couple of shops and say, well, I want something, you know. The tech is probably gonna fix your TV, give you a nicer one. you know. But you do if you did a bad job, then best believe, right? They're gonna run out of eggs. No one's gonna come fix your AC. Your toilet's gonna be blocked for a couple of days because the plumber, like, you didn't play my song, man. You didn't play my song. A trade-off. So for crew, it definitely got to be on point. For guests, you still give the same attention, but the guests come for 4 days, 5 days. We have our TGM comments writing, okay, this DJ was great, this DJ wasn't great. You did this, you're like, all right, this is what I got to improve on, and you work on that. For crew, we don't have any service, it's word of mouth, and that spreads like wildfire. So for whoever was not at the party.
But Atomic, tell people how many crew members are attending. Like, people don't realize how many people work on the ship. So how many people will attend a crew party, you would say, average?
I would say on average, on a good night, if there's no special cleaning the next day, like in a US port, I would say anywhere between 300 to 500 crew in any given venue.
Right. Yep. And that's what people don't realize. Like, we're talking about how many. So Alex, you've been there. How many different nationalities would be on a ship working at one time? And we're trying to appeal to this ain't like, oh, somebody from New York versus California versus Ohio, but we're talking about countries. How many countries and how many different languages are spoken on the ship at any given time?
Yeah, country, I can't tell exactly the amount, but it's definitely over 70, between 70 and 90 different nationalities.
Yeah, and that's what people don't like. People don't understand. Like, I did a wedding last year, and it was an Indian wedding, and they was like, "Can you do a Bollywood wedding?" I'm like, yeah. And I went there and smashed it, and they come up to me like, "How you know this music?" Like, "Oh man, I work on a cruise ship. Where you get all this music from?" They're like, where you get all this Bollywood music from? Like, "Oh, security." They're like, "What?" Like, yeah, man, security like Tupac, and I need some Bollywood music. So that's the trick now. Everybody on here know new DJ means fresh music. Hey man, can you fix my hard drive up? Can I get some music? Hey man, can we get some music? Can we get some music? Can we get some music? Everybody know that. It's one of these things like, Saxy working on board, being from Mississippi, what was one of the things that really, helped you become a better DJ on board? DJing for all the different people, from crew to guests to everything in the middle. What was one of the biggest things that you took from being on the ship that you applied to working on land? Because you do weddings just as well, as many as I do. What's the thing that you took from the ship to land?
Really just making my overall horizons bigger. For instance, before working on the cruise ships, I didn't do that much country. When I came back, my country library, I was able to grow my country library. And after the first contract I did on Carnival, I actually came back, did a country wedding. That country wedding led to a country line dancing night at one of the golf courses at home. That led to another night doing country at a tennis yard. That's one thing that I'm really glad that I did pick up, was my knowledge just on different genres per se. Like I said earlier, just getting out of that box helped me a lot, from the cruise ships to land. And as you said, like the Indian party, I have Bollywood people hitting me up for Bollywood events. And even now, I've done just different things. Even oh goodness, or quinceañeras and things like this, coming so far out of my box, doing these events that normal DJ.
Who jumped on here? Hold on, sorry. Look who just jumped on the meeting. His name that came up. I don't know how many times.
Jblendz. Jblendz in the building.
Oh! My people.
This man that came up, I don't know how many times. I don't know where you at right now. When everybody was at stay at home, Blends was like, "Man, I'm out working right now, man. I'll holler at y'all later. I'm out." Hey man, what happened to stay in shelter, man? I'm out trying to get this money right now.
Where's your mind?
You and Mos Precious take care of the iHeart station, because I'm out here getting this money. So I'll holler at y'all when I get this money. So what's up, Blends? What's up, man? Tell everybody who you are. Your name been coming up. You know, the man, the myth, the legend. He was actually one of the guys at my interview 5 years ago with Alex.
Yeah.
You know, he was in the room. So what's up, man? Tell us about you. Tell us, you know, how long you with the company, you know, where you at, you know, what's going on. Fill us in with Jblendz. Why you driving, which I don't think.
Yeah, why you driving us?
So started off, I'm in rural America right now in Rosedport, Missouri.
You gotta go see Mos Precious.
You're in Missouri.
Damn, he's in the Ozark.
Right, not far
You
from Ozark, where they just had the banging COVID party.
Damn, you were in that party last night. I knew I saw you in that picture.
It was DJ in the party. We saw it.
They talking about that on the
This I'm actually working on Plan C right now. This was my Plan C that I had to put it in. This was one of those when emergency break glass kind of deals, man. I always had this on the back burner. I always try to preach to guys have more than one source of income, man, coming in, or at least being able to go get it. Like saying, it's a craft and a passion, but at the end of the day, we still got to feed families. So right now, I've got my communications company going. I'm putting up internet, telephone, telecom, fiber network, rural areas. Until this COVID blow over, then I'll get back into craft again. But I was with Carnival for 7 years. I had to think about it for 7 years on ships. Still kind of, behind the scenes, making sure that, everybody in my family was still getting fed and still.
Now you got to break for the year. Come to break.
Spent time with a couple of professional teams in Chicago. Got a contract with the Chicago Club coming up this year, but they ain't played yet. Still waiting to hear from Major League all on what they're gonna do as far as the season. When is this gonna start? The protection for the players and the staff. So that's a really big deal right now. If they start the season with no fans, then they won't need a lot of the entertainment that they have planned. That kind of affects the DJs right off the bat. A lot of sports DJs, we just had a conference. We had a conference with NFL, NHL, and it was one other league. Oh, the Independent Baseball League. I also did some stuff for them too, for the Chicago Dogs. But one of the things I can say that helped me as far as my career was being open-minded, open format DJ, and ships helped me hone that skill. Like I can't tell you guys enough how many times, man, I've had a conversation with Alex or with A-roc or Spike, and we'll bounce ideas off of each other about, the stuff that we have to go through. And I say, hands down, nobody, and I mean nobody, even these big names like the Tiesto or whoever you want to bring up, could rock ships unless you had a special talent. It takes a special open format DJ to rock a ship, because we have different people, walks of life. We got them from 3 to 93, and they all come from different spaces, and they share the same air at the same time, so to speak. So to be able to rock a cruise ship and be a cruise ship DJ, I've had guys come up to me even doing some of those charters where we had, what's my man Alex? He even tried to come on ships. LL Cut Creator. Cut Creator was like, yo, there's no way half of the DJs in New York come on ships and do this. Right? So there's a lot of things, man, a lot of advantages that we had on ships. Besides, the customer service part of it and bringing the fun to it. I just kind of fed off the crowd, man, and what I had. I was fortunate enough to have a couple of host DJs, which are now pro DJs and more than family now. DJ Flip was
What up?
We had a hey
big dog.
Flip got some stories, man. That we got through a tough contract for most. What would have been a tough contract for most. The two of us kind of brought each other through it, man.
Yeah, man, definitely.
It was definitely a blessing to have, you know. Flip on.
Hey, Blanche, I hope you're on parking right now. You're not driving like this, right?
Really?
Yeah, we're like, I'm wondering the same thing. Like, what is he doing right now?
Is he still driving or he's driving like this?
Yeah.
Smart car.
It's full of America, and it's nothing but barns and gravel roads in front of me, so I can kind of lean back. Truck driving itself, man.
Smart car, bro. Smart car.
Yeah, it's smart car.
But you know what? I'm glad I didn't even see you, Billy. But let me tell you something. It was people like Billy Q who paved the way for a lot of us, man, that came after 2012, right? Because I came in 12. But Alex, Billy, another cat, Joe Ribello, DJ Goa, man, a lot of those cats was putting in the work and laying the foundation for us to come up with what was called 2.0. So Funship 2.0 for me, I think that might have been the second year. Was it the second year, Alex, in 2012?
Yes.
Yeah, we kicked it off in 2011. I'm trying next year is 10 years.
Right. So man, those guys, man, we owed a lot to what we had on ships at that time to Billy, Alex, and folks like Goa, because they was killing it out there, and it got to the point where, which I kind of missed that. I missed those days, but it was the point where the DJ was the focal point of all entertainment, hands down. If it wasn't the cruise director, it was the DJ. To the point we even had spots in the shows. We was in the playlist shows. Like, that's bananas. So I definitely always pay homage to those that came before me. I've always tried to kind of lead the situation better than what I came in at it with. That was one of my goals. It's cool to see and definitely a blessing to also see the new guys come up. Precious been holding it down on all many different levels. Saxy doing her. So to see you guys kind of blossom and grow into what we envision the program to be has always been a cool feat. Things also changed, man. I'm not gonna say they changed for the better or for the worse. I'm gonna just say things changed, and when they did, you guys were the ones that were able to kind of, we were able to pass the torch on, and with the change, the party never stopped. That's wrong. So A-roc, I actually want to thank you for putting this together too, man. I always kind of wanted to like a little a meet and greet or a conference or whatever, and I know it'll happen eventually, man. It's just
right. It happens, right? It happened. Everything happens for a reason, right? Right now, no ships are selling. To hopefully August, and we all get the question, and we started off the meeting with the question is, everybody always want to know, how is it working on a cruise ship? How do you get the job on the cruise ship? What is it like working on a cruise ship? And I'm gonna try to keep this going, more conversations, get some more DJs in the chat, because there, just like Blend said, and all of us say this, and it's no disrespect for all the DJs out there that may be watching and maybe tuning in, but working on a cruise ship is probably one of the most challenging gigs I ever had as a DJ, because all of us on here have mentioned probably 20 different types of genres of music, from Afrobeats to Caribbean to Bollywood to Indian to Latin to cumbia to banda, to rock and roll to country, but people don't people don't understand what we see because we got 4,000 people on the ship. You know, Benny, you know, I met Benny on a cruise. You know, Benny don't remember meeting me on a cruise, but I met Benny while I was cruising. And, you know, I was on a Magic cruising and Benny was DJing.
Out of
right.
Port Canaveral.
Yeah, out of Port Canaveral, right. So
yeah, he gave you $20 bill tip.
Yeah. So you know, what if somebody is wanting to be a cruise ship DJ or want to work abroad, you know, JD is still on a cruise ship right now. I mean, if y'all can look at JD's video, that is from a cabin on a cruise.
I'd rather get home.
So we can't be like, oh, these guys are like working on a cruise ship. This brother is still sitting on the cruise ship right now. So let y'all know, you know, we really, you know, what would be something to tell someone who's interested in potentially working on a cruise ship or working for an international crowd, what be some good advice to pass along from all our experience? You know, Alex been here the longest. So Alex, what been with Carnival, working on a cruise ship, working in the Caribbean, what would be some advice to pass on to somebody who's interested in doing this?
Definitely open-minded, personality driven, and be able to take criticism, like hands down, both from peers and guests. Like you know, they will tell you, you will get moments where, you know, boo, or that was whack or whatever. Take it until if you're not if you're not open-minded, it's not going to be the gig for you.
Oh hell no! I stopped the music right away.
No.
Let's see.
Just kidding.
How many people out here have been called whack because you won't play that song next?
You get the thumb. You get the thumb.
Every DJ gets it. I'm telling you, every single DJ.
You suck.
Oh, you get the thumb.
Yeah.
When they do it, when they go, you suck, and then 20 minutes later, DJ, yes.
Yeah. All right. So Billy, you coming from, you know, party capital right there, you know, one of the stops, you know, what would be something to pass on, you know, somebody from Mexico or Latin crowd, you know, who may be interested in jumping on a cruise ship, you know, as a job, what would you suggest to them?
Actually, we've been blessed to live in Cozumel, Cancun is an all tourist area. So we got all those genres really, really into us all the time. So it was easy for us to get all this country music, hip hop, Caribbean, and we mix it all. All our tourist people is basically US people. So it was easier for us. The main challenge for the people who want to come to the ship is the language to use the microphone, because before the DJs on the 80s, they didn't use the microphone a lot. So they used to have DJs and MCs separated. So they got the DJ booth all the way up on the ceiling. Nobody can see them. Now it's different. You are in the front view right there with the DJ booth, where the people can interact with you and talk to you and all this stuff. That's the smallest challenge they have, but definitely about music, they don't have no challenge at all. They got the easy way because they've been working with all these people from different places, tourist people, Cancun, Cozumel, Playa del Carmen, Acapulco. So we got all this for many years. So regarding music, we didn't got that problem.
I'm gonna throw a video up from one of the deck parties, so people can actually see what it's like working on board a cruise ship with the deck parties. This is line dancing, but it ain't just all about line dancing, you know. So, you know, so Benny P, you know, what's some advice that you can share with somebody about working on a cruise ship? What would be something a young guy trying to be on board a cruise ship, what would you suggest to him?
The first thing have to be humble. That's something that I think that's for me the key. Be humble all times. And the best advice I can give to somebody is there is always something to learn. Every single day, there is always something to learn. You learn something new every single day. Even with the music that you are more comfortable, there is always something to learn. That happened to me when I went to Puerto Rico for the first time. I'm Latino. I thought, oh, they sent me to Puerto Rico for the first time. I was begging to go to Puerto Rico to work in Puerto Rico. And you may even know, because the same way that it's here, every state have a different different type of music. They like different kind of hip hop. They have different kind of country music from every state change, right? As a Latino, I went to Puerto Rico, and I'm gonna play my Latin set. I'm gonna do it right. Everybody's gonna love me. I was so wrong. You go there and you have to do your homework, because as a Puerto Rican, as people from other countries in Latin America, they have their own favorites, underground artists, underground music. Parts of Puerto Rico have different tastes of music, but you have to learn your music. You have to do your homework every single time. Again, the best advice should be always there's something to learn, always.
Yep. And we got a new member to the group. Say what's up, my man. I invited him. He's one of the few non-carnival DJs. Oh, what's up, man? And introduce yourself to the group. JT Coy, there you go. You there? Can you hear us?
He's at the beach. Look at that.
Right. Can you hear us? You on?
You want to say that?
Not. He can't hear us on the chat. We lost him. There you go. He's back.
Oh, T-Coy.
T-Coy, can you hear us? Can you hear me now? Oh. We can't hear you. Can y'all hear T-Coy in the chat?
Yeah.
We can't. We lost him. T-Coy, speak up. He's trying. Yeah, he needs to check his mic and see. Check the mic, my man. I'm gonna send him a message. All right, so we gonna get him working on the mic now. Tommy, what was something that you learned as a host DJ that you'll pass on somebody interested in working on a cruise ship? I mean, it's not as easy as people think it is. We just ain't playing the Cupid Shuffle every 15 minutes.
Yeah, even
but we
do
probably
play
could,
the
though.
15 minutes.
But probably could.
Particularly for anybody coming in as a host DJ, whether you have DJ experience on a ship, you play a very dynamic role, right? So not only are you just a DJ and an entertainer, you're also a host. You're interactive. You are the go-to guy, no matter where you are on the ship, whether you're working or not. You pretty much are going to be responsible for answering all questions. People are going to stop you and ask you, where the bathroom is, or how do I get to this? And the ship has made it pretty much very easy to have those answers. Like Carnival has the fun times. They ask you to keep one on you at all times, as before they launch the Fun Hub app, where you could just pretty much access any and all information straight from your smartphone. You need to be aware of everything that's going on, even if it's not in your department, right? So being a host DJ and being a part of entertainment, it's always advised that you learn not just your job specifics, but what other departments are doing as well, what promotions they have going on. Because being one of the faces that people see a lot more often than the other staff, people are always going to come up to you because they automatically assume that you got the answers for them. So knowing what ports of call and the tour excursions, knowing what discounts the photo got, knowing what restaurants open what time, most people will just probably ask you from your job perspective, hey, what time you open, and that's pretty much it. But majority of your questions are not even going to be about what you do, right? It's going to be about what else, like what's the fun things to do on the ship, what the fun things to do in the ports, and that's part of the experience as well. It's also good as well that when you do hop on a ship, that you take time to actually enjoy what they enjoy, so you now can relate a whole lot better to it. For example, tour excursions for entertainment, sometimes we were given the opportunities to like test the tours before they actually launch them out. So
the perks,
going on
the
a
perks
tour,
of the job, perks of the job.
Of course, going on a tour, dolphin watching, or you swim with the dolphins, or go to Aztec ruins, or zip line, or kayaking, or whatever it was. Doing those things.
We lost the timing. There we go.
While you spinning the welcome music, and it'd be like, hey guys, welcome to the ship that we're going to, welcome to our ship, and this is what we got going on. You can come on and pretty much check out the shore excursions desk, book these excursions, and you take it from there. So be knowledgeable. I think that would be something to take into account, not just for your job, but for the other departments that are going on the ship, because you are one of the focal points as a host DJ. Even you're on the mic, you have that mic power, and don't be scared to use the mic. Billy Q drop that in, and that's pretty critical because your mixing ability can be great, but the personality and the mic skills will take you way further than you put into tracks together.
All right, there we go. So, all right.
I want to say something. Yeah, I just about to go. I have to go dinner. Wife is calling.
Okay.
So I just want to say something very, very important to everybody. I don't know if everybody, people watching outside also, out of the people hearing the screens, people who are listening outside. Just to let you know, always just put it outside. If you want to be a DJ outside of the ship, on land or on the ship, just take your time. It's not about just having the music. It's about to know how to use it also. It's not to have the biggest playlist. It's to know when and where. And being a true open format DJ is just take your time. It's not just getting all the music library bigger and bigger or listen just, I don't know, next 10 country music or the top 10 Latin songs. You have to know when and where to play it. So just take your time, pay your dues, study, listen to other DJs, start reading the crowd, how to read the crowd and how to, I don't know, interact with them. I have to go, guys. I love you guys. Really, really, really nice to talk to you.
And love you,
thanks,
Billy.
Peace.
Later, Billy.
So, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, hey, there we go. Look, he's in. T-Coy is in. Hey, what's up? What's up, bro?
I had the volume turned down, that's all.
So we're gonna welcome him to the group. I sent the invite to him, so give us some background. You're probably the only person that hasn't worked on Carnival. So in the group right now. So give us a brief background for everybody that's in the group. And I went out to him on social media, looking for Crusie Ship DJs and came across him. So what's up, man? Welcome. We lost him again. Where's he at? T-Coy, can you hear him? Well, how we keep losing him?
Maybe it's a delayed.
Yeah, probably a delay. I don't know. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. I think he's a microphone.
Yeah, I hear you, but you soft.
Turn the volume up.
Turn the volume. Look, the DJ, turn the volume up.
Big up, big up,
check,
big
check,
up.
check. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yo, Blendz, you
Yeah,
got
man.
5G, bro.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Check. Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Y'all got some bossy backgrounds.
Yeah. Basic. Yeah. I started on Royal Caribbean. I started with them back in 2017. So I've been on them with them since then, rocking their ships. So it's a little laid back, older crowd, but it's definitely party crowd from 10 to 3 for sure. Just about every night. So that's when
So you went Royal. So I never cruised on Royal for some reason. I just kind of loyal. So
I mean, I've been on Norwegian too. Yeah, their nightlife is a little different, but I've done, I've been on those ships as well too. So it's a little different on those as well.
Big different.
Yeah.
So tell us about different, because the company we work for is known for the fun ship. So tell us about working on Royal, as a DJ on board. What is your day like on Royal?
Gotta get closer for this.
Yeah.
Recorded.
Inquiring minds want to know, right? We put you
Everybody's paying attention right now. I really want to get that money right now. That's what's up.
The one thing I'm realizing is that you guys are actually, and I'm assuming you guys are all employees of
No, we are owners.
Owner, okay. I am not an employee of Royal. So when I'm on there, I'm a guest. So I get that, but I'm actually one of the guest DJs that does most of their special events throughout the week. So like their New Year's, when they do ball drops and stuff like that, people come on board. What was that event they had? The Eclipse cruise that they did a couple years ago on Oasis of the Seas. I DJ'd that cruise. So we do those things. Pretty much a day. My day sometimes usually is in the evening.
Okay.
Usually some pull sets, and then maybe a promenade set, and then after that it's usually the house DJ goes on maybe about 10. I jump on at 11 and close out the club.
Okay.
And not to cut them
Typical
off.
day. Yeah, what's up?
I actually had the privilege of being. They call them back in 2009. When I was on Royal, I used to be called a guest entertainer, is what they call it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And as a guest entertainer, you had the same privileges as guests. As the DJ, you still had give privileges of guests, but a couple of restrictions, but not a whole lot. Of course, the obvious zero tolerance for those that work for Carnival. Basically, our zero tolerance rules were in place as a guest entertainer on Royal. But imagine doing a Journeys cruise, and that's Royal Caribbean, dog.
Oh my God.
So for my Carnival DJs, if you have done a Journeys cruise,
Oh
that is the
my
Royal
God.
Caribbean style.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Oh
So-
yes,
so-
we
so-
know. Oh
Who
no.
who wants to explain the Journey cruise? Who want?
Or I can say something about it. It's like having a boat reel with 75 scooters and a cheater. Oh my God! Slow motion elevators use one scooter, but by time always I don't know. It's good. It's
So, you know,
experience.
So Saxy, you were just in Australia when all this was going on. You know, what's the big difference from being in Australia to working out of, you know, Texas or out of Miami?
It's a big difference.
Love you, Saxy. I have to go. I love you guys. Really, really love you. Love you. Take care, right?
Peace,
Yeah,
man.
man. One love.
I will see you at Ruby Tuesdays, Fat Tuesdays.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Right. Sorry, Saxy.
Oh, goodness.
Most precious.
Peace out.
Billy
Peace.
is
All right.
out. All right. There you
BDP.
go.
Oh my God, everybody. I love you guys. All you guys. All of you. Take care.
One love.
Hello. One family.
Yeah, man.
Go get that dinner.
Yay!
All right, Billy is out. All right, so tell us about, you know, about working in Australia, because a lot of people don't realize, you know, that they just think that we're just cruising around the Bahamas, but you know, Royal does a lot of stuff over in Europe. You know, Carnival got stuff over in Australia. You know, they got all this. You know, so tell us about Australia, because I heard stories about Australia versus some of the U.S. ships.
Australia in the summertime, DJ wise,
Wait, hold up. What is Australian summer? What bumps are those? Because I know the difference.
Summer is opposite of basically almost opposite of summer in the US. It was
Exactly opposite.
Yep.
So
Winter in the US.
what's that?
Yeah, it's winter in the US.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's winter.
Okay.
It's summer in Australia. So when I left from home, I had on jacket, hats, everything. It's freezing cold in the US, you know, and I make it to Australia and I'm sweating. Like as soon as I get to the airport, just sweating out crazy. But crowd wise, it was a very, very mixed crowd. You know how like typically in the US, you will have your older crowd come in and then they usually around 12 and then you cater to the younger crowd. Australia is not like that at all. Everybody's in there at the same time. It's closing time and I got my 75-year-old still on the day. You know, it's very, very interesting experience. Music wise, I played a lot of EDM, house, hip hop, and 70s. I could throw a 70s track in the middle of the club, in the middle of the night, just drop it at 1:30. And in the US, you wouldn't typically do that. But Australia, they absolutely love everything. I think they just love everything and they party and they drink and they have fun.
I heard about the drinking. I seen YouTube videos on Australia drinking on the ship. I seen the videos. So you know, and that's what people don't realize is like the diversity you got to have, because you don't, you know, you can pick your contract out, but don't mean you're going to be there. You know, you can say, all right, you're supposed to go on this Miami ship in January, and then you get an email from somebody at the office saying, no, you're going to Australia in January. It's like, sorry, you got your passport and your visa and everything ready to go because you about to fly 15 hours. You know, so you know, far as the different ports of call, you know, what was one of the biggest struggles that people have like with the different ports? You know, do you see like coming out of Texas versus going to Miami, coming out of New York versus out of New Orleans? You know, T-Coy, what all ports have you sailed from? What all have the ships that you worked on, what all have they left from?
Most of my ships are out of Florida. Most of it's the Oasis class, the Voice of the Seas, Symphony of the Seas, Harmony of the Seas, Allure of the Seas, which is now in dry dock. Those have been the main ships I've been on. Those are all coming out of Florida. So I did Freedom, which is out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, a couple years ago, and that was pretty cool. That was nothing but a Latin cruise for the most part, really what that was. So,
do you see a different type of crowd from different ports in Florida? Because I heard stories about where ships leaving out of certain ports, you get a different crowd.
Yes and no. But for the most part, you get the kind of it's kind of the same thing. The main difference is you may get more a different type of Latin for versus Orlando versus Miami. Other than that, it's the same hip hop and top 40.
All right.
It's a different type of, you may have some more Latin, but Royal, they have their own Latin.
There we go.
Board anyway, so.
Blue Poncho!
Yo! So look, somebody else joining to speak now. Now people watching.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
This Zoom call started at 8. Like,
it's 8 o'clock here, man. It's 8 o'clock.
Oh man, we ain't look.
Well, he's on the West Coast.
He's on the West Coast. All right.
Yep.
All right,
hey, Rob.
Sorry, man. I was driving. I just listened. You guys go ahead.
Introduce yourself. Cruz, introduce yourself. We was talking T-Coy. He's one of the few people not working for CCL. So we all picking his brain right now. We're gonna put him in the center window. But tell us, your background, your experience on board, and how do you became and worked as a cruise ship DJ, and what's going on now. We just chatting it up right now.
Okay, first of all, hello everyone. Hope you're doing well. Good to see some like familiar faces and good friends. Hope you guys doing good. So Ship Live, I started like 7 years ago. Started as support staff, and then I got Alex Dina there on the breeze back on those days, I remember. And then we start rolling the host DJ position, and I got Jblendz. And everything went down from there. And I'm here with you guys, part of the pro team on Carnival. Cheers for everyone.
Well, there we go. I got another DJ hitting me up right now. I'm trying to get on the call. So
A-roc, fun fact. I don't know if many of you guys know this, but Cruz was truly one of my success stories. He was the first host DJ for Carnival when we started.
Wow.
He was.
We tried a position.
Yo, so let me back up a second, man. Two things I want to touch up on, man.
We got all night.
The first thing I want to touch up on is the question of what DJs should be working on or prepare to come on ships. One of the strengths that I think that got me through ships, and I always suggest to other DJs, is to get your crate building skills intact. If you don't know how to build a crate, you will sink on ships, man.
Yeah.
So
don't say that. Don't say
that's real.
JD is still on the ship. JD is
still on the ship right now.
Hey, JD is still on the ship, bro.
You gotta
in that guest cabin.
you definitely got to learn how to build crates, right? So for instance, a lot of times, like he said, Cruz came right in on time because Cruz was one of the first guys that when me and Alex, we always joke about this, but we created a boot camp, man, for a boot camp for Cruz. And one of the things that it was a trial and error thing, right? It was before Cruz came, the pro DJ was doing an extremely large amount of hours, man. And some guys couldn't handle it. I mean, I get it. You got to really love your job to do it 13, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week for 6 months straight.
Man.
But here lies where a good host DJ came in, at the time, if you had an apprentice DJ, a good apprentice DJ will help you get through that. But it was our ability to build crates on the fly. Now, this brings me to my next point. My next point was when A-roc started talking about different ports of calls, right? We sat down with Alex just before we went on to bring out the Vista. Cruz and myself were on the inaugural team to bring Vista out from Europe. The game plan was to put together a crate or some crates that would cater to the European crowd, right? So we had put together like a Greek crate, we had a Italian crate, and we had a bunch of different music from Europe that we had put together, right?
Mm-hmm.
We quickly found out that did not work.
Right away.
Here's what we have found out about ports of call, different ports of call, especially European ports of call. The only thing that those folks wanted to go and listen to was American music, right? Because Carnival is a brand in Europe that's known to be an American brand. They didn't come on Carnival to hear European music. They came to hear Michael Jackson and Young Thug.
Pretty much. Yeah.
No Young Thug in Europe. Stop it. Don't do it. Don't stop
Listen, man. What we did find though, but look, what we did find that we had some success in Europe, believe it or not, was we could play a lot of reggaeton. A lot of reggaeton in Europe was as good as playing hip hop, actually. But our goal and our success in those European ports was the ability to play decades. So we would do our 70s, our 80s, our 90s, all the way up to about 2005, and then we dialed it back. For some reason, 2005 is the magic year where music went to shit.
So true. That's so true. I didn't realize you said that now.
So anything from 2005 on down, you was golden out there.
Yeah. Hey, we got another DJ in here, DJ Positive P. I reached out to him on IG. You know, the one thing about being in quarantine right now is that everybody's on Twitch, and it's like, oh, let's see who's on Twitch tonight. You know, who's on IG, who's on Twitch. So I came across Positive P. I was like, oh, this guy works on cruise ships. That's not with Carnival.
Bring it on, bring it on.
So where you at? Who's speaking?
A-roc, flip.
Oh, flip.
Yeah. So before we're just gonna pause on Positive P, right? That's the name. Yeah, I guess. What I just want to say, guys, is for some reason I can't find my charger and my battery is low. So, but before I leave abruptly, I just want to say one of my greatest accomplishments being being a DJ for cruises is that family bond. Like all my guys right here and all my girls, they're like brothers and sisters, man. That's how we live. It doesn't matter where you are from. It's just that family union that keeps me coming back. And major shout outs to all you guys, man. It's love, man. Much respect and appreciation for all of you guys, man. And Jblendz, you know, man, love, big dog.
Love, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Flip. Thank you so much. I'm agree with you too, man. You're awesome.
Thank you, guys, man.
Hey,
And
go find that
sorry.
charger. Go find that
Sorry.
charger and get back on here.
I'm sorry. I just want to say something really quick because I forgot to mention I was part of a BNP team as well, and I forget to mention. Now he's messaged me like, bro, you forgot about me. No, just kidding. Benny, where are you, bro?
See, there you go, Benny. Benny's up there. Benny's up there.
Hey, I know he was a good part. He's a good team player too, man.
Yeah, positive
bro.
creativity.
Creativity.
What's going on?
Positive.
What's going on, dog?
So what's up? So we're gonna get
Creativity, my dog.
Jblendz, what's going on, dog? Good to see you guys.
So P, we're gonna get P in here and then we get the creativity. So P, give us your backstory. Let us know what you've been doing, where you from, what what ships you worked on, and give us some tips as a cruise ship DJ. What somebody should know before getting on the ship or even thinking about getting on the ship.
What's up, guys? Big up to Alex. I got to meet him at Mobile Beat. But yeah, I linked up with Rob with Traveling DJs, and I've been kind of, what is it called? Like whenever a basketball player is not signed.
Free agent. You're a free agent, dog.
Free agent, yeah. I've been a free agent with Rob pretty much. So I've been on Celebrity, Crystal Cruises, Princess, and Disney. But yeah, like you guys were talking, I was just laughing because I could just relate, so much with what you guys are saying. It's a blessing to be able to travel and do what you love and meet these amazing human beings all over the world. And you just get the humanity, like it doesn't matter if a person's from China, from Russia, if you're on the ship, you create that bond, and it's crazy. But yeah, I just love sharing ideas and what you guys are doing. So I'm like, dang, I need to be part of this. So as soon as Tiffany told me, I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. So I love what you guys talking about, sharing ideas and how to create crates and what works. So big up to all you guys sharing the knowledge and the inspiration, with everybody. Because once I was able to travel and do what you love, it's like it was freedom. I quit my full-time job at a corporate gig that I hated, miserable, to pursue my passion in DJing, and I didn't even know about cruise ships. And then I was on YouTube late night. I came across a Rob YouTube video, and I was like, "What? You can DJ on a cruise ship? Sign me up for that!" So I bugged him. He told me what to do. I did it, and I got an opportunity. So if you guys haven't been on a ship, you like traveling, it's an amazing opportunity. I don't know with this COVID thing. I don't know how that's going to play out. But people are always looking to have fun, vacation. Like you get to create amazing memories. Like it's always vacation, game on, for you guys and the guests on the ship. So yeah, I've created, even bonds with guests. They still follow me. They still pop into my live streams, and they still remember those memories that we made like years ago. So always know that you're making and you're creating amazing memories for all those people out there. Like having that smile, bringing your A game makes a difference. I just want you guys to know that. Sometimes you get those long contracts and it can be draining or whatever, but you're always able to make a difference, even if it's a crew member, going through hard times.
Yeah, it's amazing because, there's so many DJs out there that do weddings and do clubs, but, it's a very limited amount of people who can work on a cruise ship and actually have worked on a cruise ship. Even from this small group that we have right now, how many people that we're all off the ship right now can say in your state that they worked on a cruise ship. You know, it ain't too many people around you say, oh yeah, man. So yeah, I've done 50 weddings and worked at this nightclub. Oh, but have you ever worked on a cruise ship with 5,000 people? No, I haven't. No, sorry. So you know,
yeah, it's a whole different ball game for sure.
You know, so I got creativity as like people want to join in, and I'm, you know, we're gonna have another one of these. I promise that we're gonna try to do one again, and try to stay on topic. But you know, but I'm happy that everybody's joining into the chat right now, giving their feedback. Now I'm gonna throw the creativity because this is my man. Me and him met at the airport going to the same ship. He got hired, and I was actually I was told to go train a new DJ on the ship. And I get to the airport and I see a guy looking like he's about to go work on the cruise ship. So I'm like, what's up, man? Where you going?
How'd that look
I'm
like?
going to the cruise ship. Right. He was sitting there with his luggage, with his head down, like,
so
what
true.
did I get myself into? So what's up, Creativity? Give us your background, man. Let us know, you know, a little bit about you from, you know, land to sea to back to land. Yeah. It's a lot of talent on the call tonight, man. I'm excited everybody got in here. So what's up, Creativity?
Man, it's an honor, man, for me to have met some, you know, how it came to pass for me to get on the ship. My wife and I, we're cruisers. We've been cruising at least for 10, 12 years before my opportunity came. But the way my opportunity came, I've been DJing, man, since '83. I'm old school. I mean, I'm kind of like up there with Blinks. You know, I think he got me by a year. So I started in '83. Oh yeah, I started when I was 13. When I was 13, you know, so when we happened to get on the ship,
one at that time.
Yes, we got on the breeze in 2015, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Dr. E was the cruise director. And I think the Orlando was assistant cruise director at the time. And my wife would always say, that sounds like you up there. You could do that. That sounds like you. So, I said, well, finally I said, well, it does sound like me, Doug, because if it was me, I would play this song. And if it was me, I'll play that song. Jblendz would end up playing it most of the time we were on the Lido deck. So I said, let me just go talk to him. I went and met him. Once we talked about how long we've been DJing, we kind of bonded right away with that since we were
absolutely.
But I said, well, man, how did you get on here? Yeah, exactly. So I was like, how did you get on here? I mean, what did you do? So he told me what to do. He said, you pretty much create a video and put in some things about yourself. Go to the website. At that time, it was on the Carnival's website when they were open for opportunities for employment for DJ. So when I went on there, I did exactly what Jblendz told me. I created my video, submitted it. I said, I told my story. I met Jblendz, and I think it was maybe 3 weeks later, Alex called. So, you got the call. Yeah, I was preparing myself.
Hey, you know what? It's funny, man, because Alex say, "Hey, man, it's this guy that did a video. He say he know you." I think,
oh yeah. And so once Alex called, he just pretty much, I started getting ready like you would do any other job interview. So I thought the phones interview was he's asked me 1,000 questions. But after we just talked a little bit, kind of like we're doing now on the call, it was pretty much ended with Alex saying, well, okay, I want to offer you the job. So we just started talking about the specifics of it. And he invited me to come to Miami. So that's when I think, Alex, if I'm not mistaken, we were the last group to do the Spiniversity training.
Yeah. I remember you were to the ecstasy to do some
exactly. I forgot. Okay, yeah. We got on a few ships. So I met some of you guys in the process. And actually that was a done deal. I got my first contract on the Freedom. That's where Alex and I met on the Freedom. That opportunity happened really quick. So it was one of these things where Alex had to jump in and pretty much saved me because I don't know if I can mention what happened, but he brought me on and trained me within that week. So it was more like a crash course on one of the big ships in the fleet. So after that
was
crash
me.
course,
That was me meeting you at the ship.
exactly. So I mean, and I was just like you said, I was like a deer in headlights. So, I mean, I don't know what to expect, don't know what to do. So when he got me
all of us, dog. That was all of us.
Everybody.
When we got through the onboarding process, man, it was more like he held my hand from the beginning to the end of that week. So once he left, I was able to just follow everything he showed me. And fortunately, I learned by him to always look. This is probably part of my advice to anyone that's listening. He helped me understand the voyage report. And that helped me know what's coming on the next following week. So being on the Freedom on a big ship like that, I had to get a crash course of the different type of Latin music, you know, which I was already open format DJ. But I had to look and see who's gonna come in on this particular cruise. It may be people from the Midwest, like St. Louis, Chicago may be coming down to Texas. So just because we had a lot of people around Texas that week, don't mean I can play that same type of music for people from St. Louis. So I had to learn the voyage report and to figure out what's working and what's not working. And I think thankfully it just saved me from you know being able to meet A-roc, and we've been friends ever since.
Yeah, that's been a while.
Shout out to St. Louis.
Exactly.
St. Louis.
Exactly.
So you brought up a point about the voyage report and like just knowing like what's coming on. So Tico and Positive P, you know, did you guys have any way of knowing what guests were cruising before, like the week before? Like we got access that, you know, that we can see who's coming on board, you know, weeks before, where they from, age group, and that's like the secret weapon that a lot of people don't realize, because we know who's going to be on board weeks in advance. Like we know, like, all right, we're going to have 1,000 people 6 and over on this cruise. We already know the club ain't gonna be busy. We know Christmas time what the club gonna be versus deck parties. That was Christmas. It's Christmas. We out of here by 2:00 or 1.
Oh man, are you ever played? Yeah, you're playing Christmas night. Oh man.
Yeah, for us, we
nothing.
We got that. We got that information as to how many people, what age range, and stuff like that. And most of the times, I mean, we got 6,000 people on board, and most of them were 60 and up was the majority.
Oh wow.
Journeys cruise, fellas. Journeys.
That sounds like y'all never DJ on a Crystal cruise, bro. That was like 70s, 80s. It was like 50s and 60s nights.
Bring it back.
But I tell you so even though with that many, that age range, we were still about 200-300 people in the nightclub on a regular basis.
Dang.
Yeah, that's dope. So P, you brought up another cruise line. So what all cruise lines have you free agent for?
It was Celebrity, Crystal Cruises, Princess, and Disney.
Cool. All right. What's the pros of all of them? We won't look at cons. What was the funnest of those 4 and why?
The pro of Crystal is the itinerary. They had a bunch of overnights. So that was lit. I guess we're not doing cons.
No cons. Okay. People got to find out the cons themselves. They got to get on the.
Oh, okay.
They ain't giving all the secrets out. They got to wait the episode. They got to wait to episode 100 to find out the cons.
Yeah, this is just
100. I like it.
Disney, the cool thing is like the parents are my age, so I'm jamming everything I wanted after 9, We can do dirty versions and everything at Disney after the fact.
Okay. So what about Princess? What about Princess?
Princess and Celebrity are kind of similar since they're like more the luxury brands of, you know, the different companies. It's like a lot of 80s, a lot of 80s, 70s, and 80s. The crowd is about 40s, 50s, most of them. But what else is the question?
Well, we just, it's thing because, Carnival's known as the fun ship, and we always hear, for us, we always hear feedback from guests, but it's nice to hear feedback from the DJ of these ships. Like T. Corey talking about the older class on the ship. We hear different things from guests that come on board. Like, yeah, man, I cruise 11 months out the year, and I'm on, this many ships out the year. It's like, what's the joke? They got luggage on every ship, so it's nice to hear the different aspect. Hear the different aspect from other DJs from other ships. For everybody in it, I don't want to keep this drawn out because we got plenty of time, because guess what? Most of us aren't working for a while because most of the clubs are still shut down. I got Ohio are now allowing weddings to happen in June with 300 people max, but there's no dancing allowed.
What?
Now, what?
Crazy.
What? That doesn't
What
make
about
any
if
sense.
what if
300
I
people?
start moving? Can I do like a shoulder move? Is that legal?
Man, look, and it's up to the venue. So,
Hey, y'all can host bingo like a mug.
Open the
We're
club
gonna
door
be doing
and
some karaoke.
karaoke. Yeah, basically one person at a time. So we'll wrap this up and we get back into it. Give us something that you love so much about the show. We'll start with Benny. What was one of your most memorable experience, about being a DJ on the ship, besides meeting DJ A-roc and forgetting about it?
Hey, I remember now.
Now we gonna stop that conversation. Me and him gonna talk off chat about that one. That was
I'm in trouble now. There is so much. There is so much. But if I have to choose something, I think when you are in the middle of the night in the club and you have the feeling, you have the control of 500 people in front of you and they're jamming with your music and you are taking them in a journey of your music. How do you manage to move them around and you feeling you have control of your crowd completely? That feeling, that's what it made me continue coming to cruise ship for so long.
JD, the newbie in there. So JD, you worked at Sandals, you went to the cruise ship. What's some of the best memories you had on the ship besides getting that guest cabin right now in the Glory?
Well, my most memorable time was the Cardi B cruise. The Cardi B charter cruise. Yeah.
Give us some in-depth, hold on, we're going to jump. Give us some in-depth about this charter cruise, because it came up a couple times.
Yeah, that cruise we had the main man Alex on that cruise as well, and me and Atomic. I remember the day when the DJs didn't want it to play on the Lido because they claimed they were the big shot. And me and Atomic went up there and we did our thing, Even before that, me and Atomic jamming, I had everyone talking about us on that cruise, So that was one of my most memorable events.
Hold up. I'm gonna step it back because we've been talking about how everybody think they can work a cruise ship because we don't play nothing but line dances. Give us who gonna give us the backstory? Alex, Atomic, or JD? About why the big guys didn't want to go on the stage.
I'm gonna take lead on that. I'll tell you what happened, right? So Cardi B cruise. So we had Cardi B came on, Post Malone. We had Partisan Fontaine. City Girls, like the whole
Baby
was packed, right? DJ Khaled came on, everybody did their thing, and it was that's before Cardi B performed, and there was another situation where Dej was performing, and these guys, you know, they had their laptops, so the main sound system was locked off, and you know, we have BGM, so we have house control. So JD, myself, Alex, you're like, you know, it's silence. You know, we got a deck full of people. We got our equipment. We can just call the tech and be like, new BGM, and we can hop on. And we pretty much started that. And what was crazy about it is that once the guys realized we had our equipment, prior to that, nobody said, well, let me bring my mixer up and let me try to see what I can do. You know, we took the initiative to fill in that gap before the artist actually came on. And I was approached at that time, as I've been from the Caribbean, we know, you know, major hip hop artists, but you know, in regards to the back end, like producers and labels, like we really don't, you know, pay attention to these people. And I was actually approached by Quality Control CEO, all right, Q, and he came up. I didn't know who he was, and he was like, "Yo, man, these are my artists. Let me hop on the mic. Let me have up the crowd." And simultaneously, we turned around and we're like, "Nah, we got this."
Hey, let's put some flavor, brother.
And you know, guys, you know, like, you know who I am. I'm like, well, we don't know who you are, but we Carnival DJs, and this is our boat, and it's people, so we're gonna rock this. And JD hopped on the decks, I hopped on the mic. I was between myself and Alex, and we just tore that up until the artist came on. And this dude was big, man. Like, you know, everybody got their ice and their chains and, you know, bottles and everything. And we were like, that's cool. You're going to be gone in a couple of days. We're going to still be here. And it's only after, you know, Instagram,
That's
like,
awesome.
all right, this dude got like 5 million followers and he managed City Girls are like, all right, that's cool. But we ran that segment, you know, and we rocked it out. You know, other DJs came on and played their sets. It was just very repetitive. Our open format style, being on a ship, set us apart. And every set that we played, people would come to jam with us. And when we were out, you know, the other DJs would come on and, you know, when it was hot, like, yeah, you know, this is my slot. I had a dude try to kick me off 2 hours before my slot was ended because the head DJ figured, you know, all right, we want to promote our people rocking the cruise and that type of vibe. It was like, you know, it was cool. We understood what it was because, you know, it was a charter cruise. So, you know, they had, you know, a bit more control over the actual event. But it was a great opportunity to see what, you know, other DJs came to do. And especially, you know, the big names coming in and just listening to how they play. And we were like, all right, you guys pretty much are stuck to one genre and one style. So you do multiple venues and hear the exact same song in the exact same list. Even in the
Big
club, and we
names.
come in and, you know, JD himself could tell you, like, in regards to diversity, 2005 being the magic number, any and everything before that was golden. And just being able to blend that and mix that in with current, and you know, you find these samples and, you know, you blend those tracks together. That set us apart on a level where the guests who actually came for the cruise had a better experience when actually we were playing. And it was just great feedback all around, you know. That was the highlight of that cruise for me. So, and then we didn't play Wobble not one time, not line
one
time.
No,
Not the
I
Cupid
saw-
Shuffle. No
Cupid Shuffle, nothing.
Nada.
I ain't gonna front. I saw more clips of y'all doing that doing that charter cruise, and I seen of them doing the charter cruise. I didn't see no clips of Cardi B, but I saw Tommy up there doing his thing. I
That's
saw
awesome.
JD rocking out. I didn't see Khaled. I saw JD, dog.
So Saxy, give us some of your memorable feedbacks, and I'm super jealous that you got to Australia before I did. You know, that's on the bucket list.
Oh man,
I don't care if the
Probably,
club jumping. I'm just trying to get to Australia. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Haven't done that
Same.
either.
You just gotta get used to the slang, man. That was the biggest thing with Australia.
Calling home at the wrong time. What time is it? Oh, it's 2 a.m. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on
Oh, yeah.
Lido.
But weird enough, before I went to the club, like 10 p.m., I'm calling home and everyone's waking up. So the timing just happened to work out just a little bit for me there.
Oh man.
So give us one of your most memorable moments on the ship.
Woo. There's a lot of memories, man, from crazy stuff to marriage proposals to, oh my goodness. Wow, there's a lot. One of the things I probably would, one of the things I will never forget is after very last night of the cruise, guest walks up to me with an envelope, hands me the envelope, and starts crying. I'm shocked. Why are you crying? I've never anyone ever cry because they were leaving the cruise because they just knew when they come to their next cruise that they were already scheduled for that I wasn't going to be on their ship. Never.
Oh wow! Wow!
Never had. It was like super mega fan, and the dad was like, "You have no idea. Your name was in the fun times. I had to be there." And I've never had that feeling. Man, I cannot explain that feeling. Right, because they were leaving the cruise, and I just can't explain it. That was probably the best feeling I've ever had. And like Vinny said, just in the music, you know, like music is therapy for a lot of people. So when you're in the club and when you're on Lido and you're just flowing and you're flowing and you're feeding to people's souls, man. You're feeding to people's souls. And that one time, just having that one person cry.
It means a lot. I mean, you know, people don't understand the memories that we give folks because, you know, people in the US especially only get that one solid week of vacation, you know, and that's what people don't realize. Like we got to make that, we got 5 to 7 days to create the best memory out of 12 months out the year for somebody because they know they got that 1 week of the year that they about to hit this vacation. You know, it's up to us. You know, hey, you know, but I was going to Jblendz. I don't know. There we go. He ain't driving now, so we good.
No.
So Jblendz, what was some of your best memory? One of your best memories?
Having a single cabin. No.
Yes, please bring it back.
Look, T-Coin positive. T-Coin
That was that, man.
I knew you were gonna come out with something like that. I knew you were gonna come out with something like that.
Benny, we cutting Jblendz off. We cutting.
No.
He was waiting for you to call his name. He was waiting.
I had two. Well, one of the things every year that I looked forward to, and I had a lot of my memorable moments came from New Year's Eve. Like that was one of the biggest nights for DJs on cruise ships. Is you got every single person on board, crew included, on that Lido deck, just to hear you play and bring in the new year. So for me, it was always New Year's Eve, bringing in the new year.
I'm trying to find New Year's real quick because people don't understand what a New Year's is like on the ship. Keep talking. I'm a pop up a video of New Year's on a cruise ship because people don't understand what it's like. Hold on.
Get one.
And then the other one had to be when we finally made it to New York. Me and Cruz. And Alex and Irie came on board, and it was just, that was a magical moment, man, when we finally hit the US coming from Europe, man. Being in Europe so long, we wanted that. We needed that New York feel, man. It was bananas, man. That was crazy. That's definitely one of my most memorable times on the trip. Yeah.
I got the Lido deck from this past New Year's, I think. So this past New Year's, it rolled out that we're supposed to have 5 separate parties to keep the congestion down on Lido. But at 11:30, all 4,300 people was on Lido for New Year's this year. And I mean, if people watching, you can see this is Lido deck on a cruise ship. The video I got playing is we're in the middle of the ocean heading to Puerto Rico the next day. And so just think, we got this many people in the middle of the ocean at one time jamming out for New Year's Eve. And that's what this, I don't know how many people can say they DJ for 4,300 people at one time in the middle of the ocean. So all right,
who's pouring Coca-Cola, man? What the fuck?
somebody mixing drinks.
A-roc, can I just add something really quick? Something what Jblendz just said. I don't know if any of you this happened to you. 2 years ago, on New Year's,
this is a crazy feeling that you doing your job so well and you rocking 4,000 people at the same time, 5 minutes before midnight, and you are intimidating your crowd that your cruise director may even want to touch the microphone because he thinks he's gonna do terrible next to you.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
do
and
it. Don't do
that
it.
feeling. Well, hey, oh, it's your turn. I think this is your party. You're supposed to be hosting it. No, you're fine. You're fine. No,
It happened to me on the Vala.
You're fine.
That-
No. You're fine. You're fine. Okay. Keep
That-
popping those champagnes in that side, bro. Get out of my stage.
that happened to me, but with the band, they didn't want to come back to play because the crowd was like bananas, like partying New Year Eve, and the band is like, we can't play. It's like some 80s right now. Like, no, why not?
All right, so T-Coy, what was one of your most memorable moments? And I'm still jealous because you got to work on these big ships, you know, that I look at, you know, from the side, like, oh, I wonder what it's like to be on there. What was one of your most memorable moments, and what ship was it? How we lose T-Coy again?
His mic down. His mic down.
Here we go. Where are you at?
Connection with the
There
mic.
you go.
Yeah, 5G, bro.
Mood is here, yeah.
There you go.
My most memorable would be when I did the Oasis cruise on, the Eclipse cruise on Oasis of the Seas. That cruise, we had everybody. We had CEO of Royal, Weather Channel was on Royal. We had CNN was on Royal. Pretty much everybody was on Royal as we were tracking the eclipse, and that rocked out for that entire week. Who else we have on there? I can't think of the name right now. Is "Cake by the Ocean" was a song.
Dance.
Yeah.
Dance.
They were on board. And Eclipse of the Heart. What's the lady's name? She was on board.
We should know these.
Yeah, I know the song, but I don't know. I remember her name.
Hold up, wait. You had her on board singing while y'all was tracking the eclipse?
Well, it was time to actually where she was actually singing. When she got done, that's when the eclipse was actually about to start happening.
Damn.
So it was, like I said, we the Weather Channel was on board tracking this as well. So we had everybody on board.
I was watching that.
Yeah, so
on the Weather Channel.
Yeah, that was us.
That was you.
Yeah, that was us. Yeah. So we was on there, and we DJ'd for on the back deck for a little bit, and then after that, it was pretty much party for the rest of the week, like a regular cruise. Like I said, these are at the time. This was only the second largest cruise ship in the world because I think they had just made Allure, if not just Harmony, which is only 10 feet and 2 feet 10 inches or something like that in size wise. So this is a massive ship. This thing is huge. So we did that. That was my most memorable. Most recent other than that was this past cruise. I was on Allure. A guy he was like he was on board 1 week and then rebooked for the following week while on board. He's like, dude, I'm coming back next week because of you guys. I was like, cool. So like we rocked out, and he rebooked, and it wasn't just him. It was like him, his wife, and kids. Yeah, the whole family rebooked.
Nice.
Like, yeah, because I didn't.
Baby, we ain't going home. We staying here.
It was like the girl, his wife was she was a boogie boarder, and she was up on the wave deck, doing her thing up there. I was like, I've seen the second week. This time I've seen you. Oh, so you're with him. So now I know. So that was yeah, that was that. So that
she stayed for you too, dog.
Hey.
She watching. You gotta stop it. She watching.
But yeah, we had fun with them. So those two cruises were my most memorable. It was the Eclipse cruise and most recent on the Allure.
Cool.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. So Positive P, what was one of your most memorable cruises? You know, as we start to wrap this up, you know, we got all the pros, and who mic is that picking up? Somebody fighting in the background? There we go.
The cooking in the
You
background.
know me.
We know it
But
ain't
yeah,
T-Coy.
I'm gonna jump off, but yeah, I just love the sunsets, man. I miss those sunsets over the horizon like crazy,
Oh
and
yeah.
also meeting those amazing people. I got to do I don't know if you guys do any personal development, but Abraham Hicks did a charter cruise, like some personal development. It was amazing, the vibe of the people that she attracted to the cruise. And I still keep in touch with some of the guests. But yeah, man, just the connections and that sunsets over the water is just incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me know next time you guys are doing this. This is awesome.
Yeah, for
Big
sure,
ups
man.
to
Thanks
all
for
the
jumping on.
traveling DJs out there.
Yeah, man, for sure. Thanks for joining in. We're gonna have more of these coming up, man.
Salute, bro.
Yes, sir. Later,
All right.
Alex.
Take it
Peace
easy,
out,
brother.
y'all.
Later, Pete.
Cool. It's nice meeting you guys. I gotta head off here too. I got a big.
All right, brother,
day and
man.
everything,
We'll
so.
get up with you. Thank
Yeah, I'll
you.
let you
Thank
guys,
you
all
for
right?
joining in.
No
All right, man.
problem.
Have a good one.
Yep. You too.
All right, so Mos Precious, what was one of your memorable times in 2 years on board?
Oh man, I have a lot as well. Like I shine a light on basically working with some of the best pros. So that has made my memories as well. But also the interaction with the young cruisers who it was one guy who came on every year. He cruises when I was on the breeze, and he comes with his family. He wanted to DJ, and he used to always come to the DJ booth and dance. He always wanted the on Lido on pool sets. But moments like that, and also hold on, where did I put it? Shoot. So when guests give you gifts, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Atomic or Crab when I got this gift, but I think they gave it to both of us. I guess
The
made
record.
this.
Yeah, I got a record.
Okay.
Yeah, so me and Atomic rocked the set one week, and we had this guest get us some nice little take homes, which I still have it. And then just the memories that comes with it, and also having the first time some little kids who never cruised before. They were on board for a wedding that I DJ'd, and they gave me this. So things like that I take away from the cruising experience, just the guests, and also someone follow you on Instagram, they keep up with you, they want to come to where you are. Also, when people look at my bio and say, hey, you're on cruise ships, I want to know what it is. So this experience that we're giving everybody now that want to know what it's like being on a cruise ship is a good memory as well, because when we're on the cruise ship, they're asking, how is it? What is your best moments? You never can answer it because it's every single day something isn't happening. So that is my best memories, just, the keepsakes, the family vibes. I've met a lot of people from the Caribbean, crew, as well as guests who I can literally just say, hey, hi, and they follow me. And if I'm ever in the area, just hit them up. So those are the memories I take from it, the great experiences. And I miss the water right now. Like, I'm so bad.
Oh man.
Something about that water.
Atomic, I'm trying to come to St. Lucia right now, bro.
We're taking flights from Miami, 5th of June. Don't sleep. I got a house. You know what time it is.
Send me that info. I'm booked my flight now. Trust me.
Hey, check it out. $40 to San Juan right now. It's in Spirit.
Yeah, right. You can go somewhere for $50. All right, we getting close to the end. So DJ, I'm selling Alex to last because this dude been working for Carnival longer than I've been alive. So
Hey.
Alex only 25. I don't know what's up. So DJ Cruz, what was one of your best memories besides showing up everybody, on the inaugural ship? What you got?
Yeah, well, just like everybody say, we share a lot of common feelings and moments. But I will say about 2 years ago, or maybe last year, I was doing the Super Bowl cruise out of Long Beach. That was the most fun, crazy, stressful, and crazy cruise I have done. I don't know if you guys experience or hear about it, but it's like a full ship of like guests from Oakland coming to just for the Super Bowl for 3 days. and we don't have a host DJ back on those days because I don't know, something happened. So we were myself and Orlando, the cruise director. He even himself had to DJ because like musicians weren't allowed. They were like scheduled to play, but it was like hard demography to like please on instruments. So we just DJ for like forever, man, and it was fun. To be honest, it was really, really fun, productive, and we learned so much about that cruise. And I can't do it again, but you know, I like if you have an idea how crazy it was the first night, the ship run off Genesis bottles. There was nothing. Like they buy everything. And they got a bite in Ensenada or some other ship sent it. So I don't know what happened, but that was a fun time. Super Bowl.
They ran out of liquor. Now people
Right
don't realize,
off, yeah.
people don't realize how much liquor is on the ship. So you got to realize the ship is loaded. So if you don't run out of liquor, you know they was drinking it up. You know.
Exactly.
So creativity. What was one of your best memories besides hanging out with me for a week?
well, first of all, I can't compete with Saxy, but I've had a lot of memorable moments with people, you know, literally making their cruise or being the best DJ that they've ever heard on a cruise ship. You know, those things to me were authentic because I'm already a person that just loved the synergy and being around people. But the most memorable moment I've had, and so far I haven't heard anyone say this. I mean, I hope I'm not the only DJ besides Alex that's been able to cruise with my wife. But she's not a DJ, you know, she's been in a different part of music than myself with our background. But it meant a lot to me to have her on the Elation. Out of the ships I've been on, we had a New Year's Eve cruise, and the timing was perfect because we couldn't get her on there for her birthday, which is a week before Christmas. But she was able to get on for not only just the week of Christmas, she was able to be on there with me for 10 days. So she was able to spend New Year's seeing me in my world. So, you know, the Elation is not as big as, you know, a Dream class ship, but, you know, just being on a smaller ship with, I would say, about 3,000 people all on the Lido deck at the same time, to me was a priceless moment because she was able to see me with that massive amount of people and being able to play for all of them and interact with them at the same time. So that's kind of like my high anyway, which all of us are DJs.
It's a proud moment.
High. So
she definitely feel proud.
Exactly. So and so every cruise she came on, she was able to come on and take some kind of selfie with me. You know, like one, she has t-shirts with "I love the DJ" on it. So she would make selfies and post all on social media. So that's
fan number one.
Exactly. So number one fan. So I think really out of all of that, just being able to have my wife come into my job and I be able to really just like show off, you know. It's just like a football player having a cheerleader on the sidelines cheering. So
who's this lady in the DJ booth? That's my wife. That's my wife.
Yeah, that's my wife. That's my wife, dog.
Security showing up. Security showing up. Like, hey, she can't be in the booth.
Exactly. But being able to have that experience and to also have your time off that you're cleared by the security where you can spend time with a family member, that's priceless. You know, you can enjoy your cruise along with working.
Don't forget that some of us we met our partners in cruise ships.
I was going to say my wife was working on the ship.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait, hold up. And one of the last people probably met his wife on a cruise ship, Alex Dina.
And that,
So what was one of your memorable moments, Alex? And you know your wife is probably watching.
You gotta get it right. You better have me in there.
So are we talking DJ or are we talking overall career? Because
overall life on
the most memorable you remember.
Right. definitely the most memorable, I would say, was, so before I joined ships, right? My cousin was working on ships that year. It was 99. He was big, you know, he was a bigger guy, well built. And I wanted to hear about ships all the time. And every time I tried to, you know, back then it was just phone calls. I could never meet him at his house or pass his house when he's on the phone. And the one day I did get to talk to him, and he told me, like, obviously it was hard, it was tough, you know, to get out there because you're away. I was discouraged, and I didn't want to go at that point. I went home and my dad was like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Well, you know, my cousin, I'm not gonna say his name, but he was like, the ship thing might not work for me because of, you know, I was petite and the job I was going to." Backstory behind this, my dad was like, "Look, you don't know what the future holds, right? We want you, my mom and my dad, they want me to go and try this thing out. At least just go and test it out. If you go out there, you don't like it, then you come back home." And that was it. 99, I stepped foot, man. I was a pool attendant for the first time and away from Belize. Well, I used to travel around Central America, but the first time away from Belize in the US, 19 years old, a day after my 19th birthday. And I stepped on, and the love that at the time there was a lot of Caribbean guys, because back then it was mostly in housekeeping, mostly Caribbean Latinos, right? The love and the family and the brotherhood that these guys really like hold you and say, "Look, you know, you're going to be great and you will pass through this contract." That I would never ever forget that. And I think that's something that I share with even with the team, with DJs as well. You know what I mean? Whenever someone comes in, because it's not for everyone, right? But overall, that had carried me through, and that has been my proudest moment ever since. That was the backstory.
Yeah.
The second proudest moment was trying to, you know, I saw this lady walked on board, or this girl walked on board. I was like, man. Hi, hello, I'm Alex.
He's hooked. He was hooked.
And yeah, man, you know, 6 months, 7 months, I couldn't get her attention. And the week before, we were stranded in Cozumel because of the hurricane. And one of my friends set up a blind date, and you know, you know, she went home. I called her every single day for the whole vacation. She came back to the ship, and here we are with 3 kids, and you know, living in the US.
That's ship life. That's the
So
real.
that was a natural
hashtag.
disaster, pretty much.
What about these moments?
Fun ship ready.
You're looking wrinkled, suave.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But
Hey,
but
man.
A-roc, honestly, before we even close this, I want to say how proud I am. I know we made a video the other day. We're trying to get everyone on. You know, times people are still traveling and the internet and everything. But overall, man, like you guys and the Carnival DJs on a whole, right? I can speak of this because obviously this is the brand I've worked for. The retention rate and what you guys do, and the amount of passion you guys put into what you do, that overall as well is not a proud moment, but like a proud legacy of just seeing everyone, how they come in, they grow, they, you know, they move on to bigger things. And, you know, I want to let you guys know, anyone who's looking, when you join this family in Carnival, like, trust me, it's something else.
Yes.
So salute to you.
Yeah. Well,
Cheers, Alex.
You know, in closing, this is not going to be our last conversation, because, you know, what we do is not like what most people think we do. And a lot of people can't do what we do. I'm not knocking other DJs out there, they may be tuning in, but people don't understand. From the time we've been on this call, we done probably talked about, you know, 30 different types of music, all these different ports of call, these different countries, different ships, different people. You know, it ain't like you show up to the club every Friday night and you got your same 100 songs. You know, you got 4,000 people in front of you every 3 to 7 days, depending on what ship you're working on. You know, and I tell you, you know, in closing, one of my best memories, and still more memories to come, is meeting everybody right here. You know, talking to people, you know, through email, you know, because we never get to see each other as a DJ unless you're working as a host under the pro DJ. So it's always those 3 a.m. emails like, so how was the club tonight? You know, what time you gotta start Lido? And then you get people in Australia like, oh, I just woke up. You know, like, hold up, I'm going to bed. You on Lido right now? I remember, talking to Jazzy, and we'd chat via Carnival email at 3 a.m. because she's on Lido and I'm in the office doing voice reports. Like, we doing? It's like, I'm on Lido in Australia right now. Hold up, it's 3 a.m. No, it's 3 p.m. here. You know, like, hold up. But that was on my fondest memory, meeting people from all over the world, including this guy. We're gonna let him in. We supposed to be done, including this guy.
He's making a grand.
Now y'all got about to see who pop up in the group because
oh my God.
Look, this man, hold up. Backstory before Silk even come on board. All right, before he come, Silk just messaged me on Facebook. Yo, I just woke up. Now I told Silk, I told Silk, and I'm gonna tell people watching this. Look, I'm gonna tell people Silk is 12 hours different. He's in the Philippines. So Silk messaged me today like 2 p.m. like, hey man, I'm excited. I say, dog, go to sleep. Oh no, man, I'm too excited. Don't oversleep this. All right, I got you. It's 10:30 right now, a.m. in the Philippines, and Silk is just now waking up. So Silk, are you there? Can you hear us now? Where you at?
He said he's gonna be naked.
Hey. Right, that was the chat. Look, skirt. Silk, you there?
Oh, I think his audio's not working yet.
Oh my goodness. Blenz, would you go put some 5G in the Philippines?
I'm on my way. I'm about to go give him some Blenz.
Get some 5G. Well, look, we're gonna get Silk on here. We're gonna have to start like at 2 a.m. for Silk and be on at 2 p.m. next time. But hey, once again, thank everyone for doing this. We're gonna get some more people on here because I know it's some other cruise ship DJs that want to talk about it. I know some people got some questions. I do want to give a special shout out, and I almost forgot, but big shout out to Sarah McKenzie in Florida for her Girls to Divas summer program. She's down in Tallahassee, Florida, and she's going to be hosting the summer program. And guess who she want to talk to? She want to talk to some cruise ship DJs about working at sea. So DJ Saxy, DJ Mos Precious, I'm definitely going to be passing your info on to her because this is a all-female summer camp in Tallahassee, Florida, and they looking for some people to speak for Career Day. So use this as a platform to share the knowledge. But hey, Silk, are you there? We don't know what Silk is.
Went back to sleep.
Yeah, he's back to sleep.
I don't got it right here. Silk.
Hey.
Yellow.
Silk,
say hello. Say hello.
That's his album cover. Look like.
He got his album cover.
Where is it? Where is it?
He's on the Google.
Silk. Yellow. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
We can't see
What up?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Silk, do you got clothes on? That's the question. Do you got clothes on?
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah, man. We gotta throw the waters on now.
Silk, say what's up, because we getting out of here, dog. We've been on here for 2.5 hours. We getting out of this. Hey, look, JD's Wi-Fi about to run out in the glory, dog. He on that shit Wi-Fi right now. His $5 plan about to run out. He broke on his chat right now. He only had the 60-minute plan. Somebody got to cash app JD the money.
That's what the social plan does.
That's social plan. We're gonna say the ship Wi-Fi for another conversation.
Episode 90.
We're gonna get you on the next time. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. If y'all been watching on any social media, thank you all for tuning in. We are ending this call right now. Peace out.
Peace out.
Stay safe, family. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Okay, guys.
One love, one love.
One love.
Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.